What's going on, guys? On this episode of the Jiu-Jitsu Therapist Podcast, I'm joined by one of my childhood friends, one of my best friends, best people I know, Adam Wilson. He is a fellow brown belt at Derby City Martial Arts. Man, we've kind of started training together. We've grew up together, and just really, he's been a big factor in motivating me to continue to push and train in jiu-jitsu. He's somebody that, I really get to spend a lot more time with through jiu-jitsu, which I'm very thankful for. I just kind of wanted to get his take on his jiu-jitsu journey and how he has evolved and changed, how jiu-jitsu has changed him, and what his plans are, how he's continued to train with family, his family growing, and just being busy and continuing to put the hours in and progressing in jiu-jitsu. And I'm also joined by a regular on the podcast, our head coach and badass Nick Chewy Albin. He's always got awesome information and always great perspective and point of view on stuff. I enjoy always having him on. And Adam and Chewy have a pretty unique on-screen relationship, if you will, and they do a lot of these jiu-jitsu videos together. Pretty awesome stuff, and I hope you guys enjoy it, man. It was a blast doing the podcast, and Adam is just a super knowledgeable guy who's been training a long time along with me, and Chewy's always got great information to share. So enjoy the podcast. Thank you guys for sticking around. It was so much fun doing it. We're going to find out about your all's movie magic today.
Is that what we're talking about?
What the fuck you want?
Well, I didn't know if there was a general idea.
I want to kind of talk about, honestly, Adam's been training as long as I have. I kind of want to get his perspective on training and fucking changing gyms and just being a fucking brown belt.
Changing gyms is a good one.
Yeah, just kind of the shit that we've done.
I wasn't going to say anything, but since he just dropped the bomb, I'm changing gyms.
Where are you going?
Changing gyms. Don't worry about it. Don't be one of those.
Look, you're supposed to be cool with it. No matter what I choose.
Yeah, Chewy.
Hey man, I say
Chewy, get a little closer.
I am. You hold up, you fucking motherfucker.
Just don't play with anything.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's not that I have to be cool with it. I'll respect your decision, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to try to get you to change your mind.
Why?
Would you be heartbroken if I was
Why?
like, F this? Can I cuss on this thing?
Yeah, fuck. Say fuck.
Alright, cool.
It's
like, if you left, would I be heartbroken?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I would be.
I was just like, man, Chewy,
Explicit.
Do you know how bummed I would be? Dude,
what if I was a dick? What if I said, Chewy, I don't think you have anything else we could keep?
Chewy, do you want this?
Here,
take this. Put this in your ear. Just so you can tell if you're doing stuff.
No shit, I'm going to turn my phone off. But no shit, I'd cry.
Oh, well,
Chewy's a crier.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Dude, I remember one time, Tim Proctor, he was just he didn't even quit. He was just I'm going to take a little bit of time off, which indefinitely. He's back now,
Yeah.
But I remember he was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just need to take time away from the gym. And he said I might go train somewhere else, just to sort of. It was when all that shit was going on, and I remember I was like,
oh, with
yeah. And so all that stuff. So I was like, and I remember, dude, I got up. And I told Cam, I looked at him, and I was going to have this big, thing with the kids that night. I sent a message to Josh, man, I was like, you guys are running it? I went to Cam, I was like, hey, man, I'm leaving for the day. And I went and fucking buried myself into work for, 3 hours. I was, so bummed. Oh, wow. I was, sitting around, just in a funk.
Why are you bummed?
Because, man, it's you can't fucking, bleed and sweat with people, and, I don't know, man,
who's a homie?
I tell you, I have, a very small amount of family that I'm very close to. And so because of that, I feel very attached to you guys. More so than I probably should as far as a healthy, business relationship, right? So I really, there is that, aspect of, hey, the business side of it, but, beyond that, it's man, I really care about you guys. So, if you guys aren't here, or if, you guys left, that'd be fun. You know what I mean?
To us, it's business. To him, it's pleasure.
Yeah.
What, that's a good segue. What do you think, when we both
on? Are we doing this?
Yeah, we're just talking. I'll edit shit out as needed.
Oh, okay.
You just fucking talk, dude. Don't worry about this.
I was waiting for
okay. And now, I wish fucking Mike Roberts was here because I want him to do. Can you hear? Okay.
Yeah, this is really loud. Like when you're speaking, it's very loud.
Oh, sorry.
Your voice
No. It's I don't care. You can come closer. It got really loud for a second. Jumped. I was like, whoa. I'm going to turn down the gain on this thing.
The gain. So, I fucking forgot what I was saying.
We're talking about how
You were talking about Mike Roberts doing the.
Yeah. I won him. I was driving over, and they had posted a video before I got over here. It was like him fucking like a 7-second knockout.
The second round, yeah.
What a fucking killer, that guy. He's a beast.
In a world where one man stands alone this summer, Eugene is the Jiu-Jitsu, the rapist.
Everyone's going to call me that. I have to cut that out.
Jiu-Jitsu, the rapist.
I have to cut that out.
I'm going to say it so many times that you can't possibly cut it out. Accept it, Eugene. It is your destiny.
So,
I'll take the rapist for 400.
I'll play your game, you rogue.
seriously?
I'll take the Penis Mightier for 300.
I'll take swords for 500.
So,
Famous titties.
Almost lost my protein shake on that one.
Don't lose that.
That's a metaphor for ejaculation.
Yeah.
What's my protein shake?
Oh my god. Are we ever going to get into anything serious here?
This isn't serious? This is the extent of my depth right here. Like everyone's like, "What's on your mind, Adam?" Like,
what's on your mind, Adam? What's on your mind?
Ejaculation.
Adam.
Right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
With us in the room?
We're talking
this is what
about
you think about?
If anyone watches the videos and they hears this part of it, they're going to look at you completely differently. They're going to be that, that guy that like says Adam and
he's actually can say words and
like,
sentences and
there's
shit.
a reason Chewy doesn't let him talk.
All he talks about is ejaculation. He talks about masturbation an awful lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get.
It might be a problem.
All right,
We're going.
We're in the Jiu-Jitsu the Rapist podcast. Yeah. Now, what like?
No, I wish Mike was here because I was like,
Yeah.
I've got my phone. I've got a lav mic. I was going to have him do the intro.
Mm-hmm.
He said he'd do it. He said he'd do it.
Get that Barry White voice.
He's got a great voice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that what this is about? Oh.
What?
He just has a sultry voice.
Yeah, he's going to do my intro. I was going to have him do. And now,
Hey,
the
cool.
Jiu-Jitsu thing. Yeah, it would have been
You
awesome.
gotta pay him every time you
No,
use
I
it.
ain't paying him shit.
Does
He's doing
he
it
know
for free.
that?
Yeah, he knows. Adam, so we were just joking around about changing gyms and shit. Like, were you since we started training together? We were in another gym. Did you were you kind of nervous? Like, I know we kind of went through a little bit of time, like looking around at different gyms in the city. Were you kind of nervous, like switching over?
Not at first, until I got here. like I got promoted. I haven't told a lot of people this, but I got promoted to blue belt at my first gym. Prior to, right as they were closing up. It was like, I didn't even think I was going to get the belt. They were like, hey, look, you're going to be a blue belt. You are a blue belt. When this thing comes in, we'll give it to you. And I was like, all right, cool, And then, it got closer and closer, and they were like, well, this week, it's probably going to be the last week. And I'm like, well, shit, am I going to get this belt? Because I was excited about it. That was a big accomplishment for me. And then the doors closed. And it was like, well, this gym is gone now. And I was like, well, that was fun. And then my instructor at the time, he called me one day, he contacted me on Facebook, and he was like, look, I hope things are going well. By the way, that thing, he was real vague about it, but I knew what he was talking about. He was like, that thing, I was telling you about it, finally came in, so come over to my apartment, and, we'll do it.
Talking about dildo.
It was the dildo, yes, but then the blue belt, too. So
okay.
I went over, I got my blue belt in a living room, at my old instructor's.
Shit.
Chewy's twitching over there.
You okay? Do you want this chair?
No, so you got it. You got the blue. I see. I didn't know that. So you got it in a living room.
I got it in the living room.
Yeah.
I went over and then I left. So my first day here at Derby City was my first day wearing my blue belt. I felt like I should. I was actually done with jiu-jitsu. I was like, you know what, that was fun, but this is a sign. The gym closed. I should move on to something else. And I told myself, well, you got this blue belt. You should test it. Just see what it's like to train as a blue belt. And I got here. And the first day, I saw what blue belts looked like, and even really tough white belts, and I was like, holy shit, I wonder if anyone noticed. Maybe tomorrow I should just put my white belt back on. And I really thought about doing that.
Yeah.
But, I felt that would be kind of disrespectful to my previous instructor. He had confidence in me, so I should have confidence in me, and I sucked it up. And
Did you, did you ever think about quitting?
Yeah, when the gym closed, I felt like my momentum had really been shaken. I was going several times a week and coming in before class, staying after. I had a couple buddies that were kind of we would kind of get together and experiment with things that we saw online. That kind of white belt stuff that you do. And once the gym closed and I took a few weeks off, I was like, you know, I'm okay with it, you know, if it's over. But then I found out about this place, and the momentum picked back up, and here I am almost 9 years later. So.
I know. Well, we started like, I started like this guy that I worked at the YMCA with. I talked about that. Like, he told me about, you know, Highlander, which is where we were at. And like, I don't know, I guess I mentioned...
I didn't name drop. I didn't want to like...
No, it's fine, it's fine.
I was intentionally not dropping the name, so...
We got a little gas, sorry. But we, like, what... I know I kind of brought it up to you. What were you thinking, like, when because we never...
You know what's crazy about that is, like... And this is I think, a testament to the connection that Eugene and I have always had as friends, because, like we've always been on a similar wavelength with a lot of things. There's been times where I've thought about, like, you know, I should do this or take this step, or, you know, maybe, like, I was thinking about doing a tournament and I hadn't told anybody about it, and then I look over and Eugene's like, yeah, I'm doing this. And I'm like, holy shit, dude, like, I was thinking about that too. But what was really crazy was we never talked about doing jiu-jitsu or anything. He and I both like watching UFC events and things like that. And, you know, I was in this job. It was just a, you know, after college, or you know, your first job out of college kind of thing. And I was like, God, you know, I need to do something. And I'd really kind of been looking into jiu-jitsu. You know, just happened to cross my mind. And then one day I'm driving home, and I can distinctly remember the spot where this happened. Was I was on Westport Road getting ready to get on to Gene Snyder South. That was how I went home from work. And I get a call from Eugene, and he's like, man, you know, like, I'm just going to throw this out there. Let me know what you think. What would you think about taking up jiu-jitsu? And it was like, damn, like yes, like, that is exactly what I've been thinking about for the last 3 months. And he had talked to that guy that, you know, that he knew, and he heard about Highlander, and he was like, you know, let's go here and try it, you know, and that's how I got into it. And if he hadn't made that call to me that day, like, I'd probably still be thinking about it.
I might have been kicking Adam's ass. But now I'm not.
You should have like waited 6 months after, and then like, yeah, I'm doing jiu-jitsu. It's great. Like,
come here, Alan. Fuck your ass. No, it was, yeah. Like, I think I thought about. I think we weren't as invested in it because you were a blue belt, I was a green belt or an upper level white belt.
It's a 2-stripe white belt.
At least you didn't show up to a gym with a green belt on, and then Chewy's like, and I asked Chewy, I was like, hey man, should I just put my white belt on? After a couple of days, he's like, yeah, go and put it on. I think he's trying to be nice, but I don't want to hurt my feelings. But I was like, I don't give a fuck. You know, I didn't care.
Well, or join the kids class.
Well, see, the thing, yeah.
Are you under 6? You have a beard.
We still have to make that video eventually. You know, but the idea, like, you know, jiu-jitsu, there is no standardization. There is no, like, governing body over top of all of it that says this is exactly how you do it. Like, the IBJJF is probably the largest body, but they don't govern how everyone does their stuff. Like, you know, that's one organization. You know, I mean, like, you could make a tournament that says we only allow wrist locks. Mm-hmm. You could teach white belts how to heel hook all over the place. I mean, it's whatever you want to do, man. And so when we get students that come in, whether they're green belts or they're blue belts, and regardless of whether or not, because even Rich said the same thing when he was a blue belt. You know, he came in here and he was just like, man, these guys are way tougher than, you know, what our blue belts were, kind of thing. And so he felt like the curve, you know, he had to learn. Yeah. And, you know, but like, and even John Turner, I think I did a video on him the other day talking about that. Like, when he came into the gym, he wasn't what I would interpret as a blue belt.
Where was he from?
He was from like a sister school down in Lebanon, like I think somewhere like there, like you know. And so he, you know, it was a smaller gym. He had his basics. He just wasn't as good as I would expect from a blue belt. But when you get those people, you know, you're not going to like try to emasculate them by saying you need to take your shit off, start as a white belt again. Right. You just say, look, man, we'll just get you up to speed, and that'll be fine. You know, like there's no reason to like make a big fuss over it. Just like, no, you know, that's why like with the green belt, I didn't want to make you feel like awkward about it. Well, right. Well, of course you didn't care, but if you would have came in there like, you know, the first day, I was like, take your shit off, man. You know, you've been like, whoa, you know.
Dumb about this.
But I was just trying to make you feel welcome. Yeah. And then like, look, man, like, you know, we don't really do the green belt, just do the white belt, and,
right?
You know, whatever.
And I kind of had the opposite effect. Like you were like a blue belt, but I think we were pretty close to the same level. We were training about the same amount of time, and I had, you know, been doing some shit for school, so I wasn't training as much, and you know, I got to put on a white belt with no stripes, so people thought I was fucking brand new, but I actually had I had a pretty decent, I had a solid base, so I kind of was like, I think people looked at me a little different, like, this guy fucking knows, he knows some of the shit that he's doing, and so I felt like I had a little bit, do what?
He knows a lot of shit, actually.
Well, but, you know, I thought it was, like, so for me, yeah, like, I don't know if I I envied you for having a blue belt and myself not having one, I guess, because I wanted obviously to achieve that, but then on the other end, and I was just kind of like, well, fuck, no pressure, because every time you get that belt, it's like, I just got that brown belt, and it's like, fuck, dude, everybody's looking at you, they're hungry, salivating.
You guys came over here in 2009, right?
Yeah,
2009.
Sounds right.
I don't know.
Because,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because my fight up in that casino, that was June.
It was right before the gym closed.
Yeah, and I remember talking to Joe about it, and so I remember I trained with Joe several times that earlier in that year. So it's 2009. So yeah, geez, it's almost been 8 years.
Yeah. So yeah, we came over, like everything seemed so big to me. Like I was like, holy shit, there's all these fucking classes, and there's all these people in these classes, and like when we go to at Highlander, you knew everybody's name. You knew every single person. You knew what they, you knew their style. And now you come in, there's people you don't even know. And it's like, getting a new person was like, holy shit, there's a new person in class.
Well, it's funny is you say that. And, I used to think the same thing when I came over. I was like, man, these classes are big.
Yeah.
Right? And then now the classes are even larger. Like when I look at because on that computer right there, that old one, I've got videos from back when there's videos of me and Rich rolling as brown, but I was a brown belt, he was a blue belt.
Yeah.
I think I definitely probably got some of you guys on there, and from 2008, 2009, and dude, you look at the gym and you remember these quote big giant classes, and there's 10 people on the mats. You know what I mean? And then now it's you go there sometimes there's 40 people out there. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean the whole transition was kind of and I have to say me and Adam kind of looked at different gyms, and on the other side of the coin, I kind of took you're like, man, this, because you went and looked at a couple gyms, and I think you looked into, here.
How dare you.
And Derek.
I made phone calls.
Adam kind of did some research. He's like, man, we were both kind of doing recon work, trying to, kind of just calling around. Adam's like, man, I called this place, it's kind of expensive, or the hours just don't work for us. But man, and Derek, a testament to Derek, he was really, really accommodating. He's like, man, because there was about me, Adam, Rich, Ben,
Brian Holmes,
Michael Watchmaker.
Right. Yeah.
So about 7-8 of us.
Yeah,
and most of us were, we'd been training for a little bit. And Rich, obviously, was he a blue belt when he came over?
Yeah,
or?
Blue.
Well, Rich, he took some time off, didn't he? Because I remember I was here a while, and then when Rich came back, I was like, yes, I'm finally going to fuck this dude up.
Yeah.
And then after a week, he hit his stride, and I was like, well, that was fun, but I never even had to jump on him, man. He took 1 week to get his cardio back, and then he was ready.
Yeah. So what happened was when I found out from Joe that they were closing the gym, I talked to Derek and I was like, hey man, because I know what that's like, with the old coach, it's you never knew where you were going sometimes. You're like, oh, we're hopping the ship and we're going over here into this little corner of this gym. Oh, we got kicked out of there, now we're going here. So I knew the feeling, and I was like, well, but let's offer them something so we can get those guys to come over so they have a good place to train. This is more closely, this is like a 2.0 environment. Right, you got the hard training, but you got the it's a little bit more positive, I guess you say. It's offer them deal, help them out to get it in here. And then when you're talking about Rich, Rich was gone for a while because of his grad work that he had to do for grad school.
10 degrees.
And it was funny, man, because I'm sure you've heard the story. I was walking out of my apartment one time. At the time, I lived on Barstow Road, and Rich is coming driving. He's like, "Oh, Chewy," we'd rolled with each other several times,
right.
And so he comes out and we start talking. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'll come down there and train." And then 2 weeks later, my girlfriend and I were getting dinner at Cumberland, the little brewery place down there in Barstow Road. And we're having dinner, and all of a sudden, Rich comes in, and he's completely shit-faced. He's because he just got his, I guess he got his doctorate or whatever. Nice, he had to do his little presentation or whatever. So he got his whatever smart shit doctorate that he's got. The guy's a fucking genius, right? And he comes in, and he's like, "What up?" Just all fucking crazy. We sat at the table. We talked about jiu-jitsu for 2 hours. That's and awesome. His girlfriend, or his wife, and my girlfriend went to the other table. He moved to my table, and we talked. And then the next week, he was in the gym, and that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was weird, man. It was different. It felt kind of I don't know. Did you have some? I kind of missed the old gym a little bit, I guess, just because. It was just, I feel like we were
really, first love.
Yeah, we were close knit,
You're so close. It was his first love. I miss it too. But it's like that girlfriend you had, like, because I do it all the time. I think about the original gym that I had. I'm like, man, I miss it there. And, it's like, what do you miss? Well, I miss it. I just miss it. Like, you can't really put it. It's like, like, it's your first love, man. Like, you probably, like, that first girlfriend you had that, like, for some reason you still have some sort of, like, attachment to that you don't know why. You're like, I don't know, just...
Yeah. I mean, it's... I guess.
Yeah, she, like my first girlfriend, like Highlander, like my first gym, was full of mold and smelled weird and
oh my god,
sweat.
Your first girlfriend was full of mold. Was she an actual? Was she a person? No, she was a tree.
To be
determined. One of those real dolls.
So, like, I mean, did you feel like, when did you realize, like, you want to stick around, like, here and?
Oh, probably like a week. No, it was probably longer than that. It was probably like within the first month of being here, I'd hit my stride again, and everyone was really cool. It's like you said, Derek was really, like, welcoming,
Yeah, he was.
Because I'd always heard, like, if you switch gyms, sometimes not everybody is so cool. There will be, like, oh, you're coming from over here? Like, we're not cool with those people. And,
I need
to
drink my beer.
But, so I was kind of nervous about that. I was like, man, I don't want to get over there and these people are going to be dicks, because that's not me. I consider myself to be pretty cool. But yeah,
we were, I mean,
a month in, like, everybody was, like, super, like, I mean, I felt like I was, like, making a connection with a lot of the dudes here,
right.
And everyone was like, yeah, let's roll, and just hard training, but not that, like, everybody's had those roles where, like, you've rolled with a guy and it's like, man, like, we're fighting right now, like, we're not training, we're not having a hard roll, like, this dude, like, he's coming at me, like, I think we're fighting. I didn't have that here. I felt like everybody was really putting it on you, but it was very, like, like, I don't know how to describe it, just very friendly, very, very welcoming, and everybody was really tough, and I was like, I want more of this. I don't think if I had stayed where I was, I think it was kind of a blessing in disguise that the other gym did close, because I think I may have gotten tired of it eventually over there, whereas over here, I've just developed so many good relationships with the people.
Right.
That's what's helped me come back.
Well, I think with the coaches, too. I think we've developed
definitely.
good... I don't know if we ever really... And I think the more you get into jiu-jitsu, the higher, I think a rank you get, the more you're around people. I mean, we were there, like a couple years, maybe a year?
Close to 2 years.
Yeah, so... it was a hard transition. Actually, like I said earlier on a different podcast, I actually took a job in this part of town because I was like, oh, I'll be right next to the gym. I was literally like 3 minutes away, and I was like, well, it was it was probably one of the selling points, and it's crazy because I said before, I don't know if I never knew if I envisioned myself training as long as I had, and I'm always like, and part of that is because of you, I'll tell you, because like I was like, man, Adam has got no quit. He looks like he's got no quit in him, like when you got your purple belt. And you were fucking just killing it, man. You were putting in a lot of hours, a lot of hours. And I was like, Jesus. And, and I think I was still a blue belt at the time. And I was just trying, like, I was like, it kind of motivated me to keep grinding, just keep coming in and keep, sticking around for classes and just continue to work. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely, like, and I still, like, you're, we're at the same rank, right now. And, it's motivating to me because I've seen like how far you've gotten better. Like I honestly feel like you surpassed me, and I was like, and I'm like, shit, dude, I want to catch up to that. I want to be there. Like our games are definitely different, but like it's just like I want to get better. And I think whenever we roll, it's always like nobody wants to give an inch. It's like we don't want to give each other an inch.
Yeah, the margin of error at this level is just
right. And I mean, like I think the last time we rolled, you fucking got me some kind of weird choke. Like not last time, but like last time you submitted me, I remember it too. And it's just like I think we don't open up as much because we're like just so like focused. We know each other's games, and we just
competition there. Like neither one of us wants to lose. So.
Right. And it's not like we want to hurt each other or anything. No, but we'll take each other's necks, or arms home if we can. But it was fun, man. Like, what did you think as far as? I remember my first tournament vividly. We did the same tournament. We did an ego. And I remember you going first, and like we did the same tournament together. I went against the guy actually from here, and it was funny. Yeah. I went against Chris Corson.
Yeah.
And for a while, it was weird for me to see him on the mats here.
Like that fucker.
Like, I was like, well, I ended up...
You beat him, yeah.
Yeah, but man, he beat the shit out of me the first match. Like, killed me. But I was lucky enough to have...
That was a weird one. They did like a
best out of 3.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, and I got lucky because I think I got the jitters out. And I think you probably had... Do you feel like you had a lot of that, like, nervous?
No, what killed me my first tournament was I was so dumb, and I wish I could go back and do it again, was we were at Highlander, and I would see these dudes, everybody had their different things. Some people did tournaments, we had a lot of people doing, like, amateur fights there, and I just thought it was the thing to do, was to cut weight. You know?
Oh, you cut weight?
Oh, God.
I had no idea.
Oh, my God. And you know what? I didn't know how to do it, so I didn't eat. Like, for a whole month leading up to that, I was eating, like, half-portion meals and just eating really light, and I dropped down to, 150-something pounds. Like, to give you an idea, like, I'm 185 pounds right now. Like, and that, I feel great at this weight, but, like, I was like, I gotta cut, like, 2 weight classes, and I was asking people that I had no business asking these people. Like, they didn't know any better than I did, and they were like, just do all this stuff. So I cut all this weight, and then the day of my first tournament, I'm driving in, and, like, if you've ever, like, been, like, really sick, you know, and, like, coming back and you haven't been eating, and, like, you've got this, like, almost, like, kind of the shakes a little bit. You're, like, you're undernourished. Like, that's what happened to me. So my first tournament, I'm on the sidelines, and I'm like, God bless, like, I can't get any power. Like, I'm trying to do, like, push-ups, and, like, I feel so weak right now. And there was a bit of an adrenaline dump. I'm not denying that, but my frustration was at how undernourished I was. And so I go in against this guy, and he's not this intimidating dude, but, like, he literally grabs my collar. They say, you know, they say go, and then he grabs my collar. He pulls me to the ground, and it's like there's no fight in me at all. And he gets on my back and does some sort of, like, cross-collar choke kind of thing. I may have been a bow and arrow choke kind of deal. And, I mean, within, like, 15, 20 seconds, submits me. And I was like, God, that sucked. I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I got the jitters out, and I did a tournament. But I wish I had been eating. I wish I had somebody more knowledgeable coaching me, saying, like, look, if you want to cut weight, here's how you do it intelligently. Or don't do it at all. I mean, I don't cut weight now. Like, I just, whatever I'm at, I go and compete at that.
Right.
I'm fine. So.
I can't imagine. I was way more nervous. I was fucking nervous as hell. I had adrenaline. Yeah. I had an adrenaline dump, then I was pumped up, then I had another adrenaline dump, then I was pumped up, and I was just fucking up and down.
See, I was too weak to experience all that. I didn't experience that till my next tournament. I was like, the first tournament, I was like, I should have been eating. I feel so sick right now. And then, like, I just, fucked me up. But then, like, I did another tournament. I didn't tell anybody about it.
Right, you told me it. Where was this at?
I was literally, it was the night before. I was at the gym. I was at LAC on Taylorsville Road, and it was one that Dave Riley used to manage. And I go in, there's he had like a little sign on the door, like, there's a jiu-jitsu tournament tomorrow at
their gym?
No, it was at Tom Sawyer Park. There's like a facility over there. You know what I'm talking about?
Bluegrass.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I just went in there, and, like, I was like, I'm going to do this so I can get tournament experience. And I went in, and I lost that match because I was like, but I didn't get submitted that time. I was like, I'm not going to get submitted this time. I just want to, like, work some things. I'm going to try to get some points. I want to survive. And then the guy beat me by a couple points. He did, like, a sweep or something. And I was like, okay, I'm still alive. Like, this is good. And then the next tournament I went to a few months later, I did great. I mean, I was like, I did a gi in, no gi. I was submitting dudes. I felt very confident.
Was that Seneca?
I think that was Seneca.
Yeah, that's a tournament I destroyed him.
And then, did you go that one? I don't think you
went.
Yeah,
I went. I lost my first match.
That was in Taylorsville.
Oh, okay, maybe not that one.
We did another one with Seneca. Yeah,
right. That
was a gi tournament at the basketball academy. Yeah, and that was the one you hadn't even you'd been at school, I think, and came back, and everybody else was like, "Yeah, we're going." So I think you jumped in, which was admirable. But I mean, nobody can blame you for that. I mean, you haven't been training or anything.
Oh shit!
But I think I was proud of myself for doing that. Like, I'm just going to keep going out there until I reach a level mentally where I can compete better.
Chewy, what was your first tournament like?
It was different for me because I didn't, I did wrestling. You know what I mean? So my first competition experience was wrestling. I was terrified. I remember my coach put me in there with a guy that I had no chance of beating.
He was your weight class, though, right?
Yeah, but I was a fat kid. I was a fat 215. kid in high school, and so like had to cut to get to 215. I was like when I was in high school, man. My freshman year, I was 230 pounds.
Really?
About 5'10", yeah. I was a big kid.
What's it like cutting it? Like, I mean, what's it like? You know, I'm not overweight, or I've never. What's it like for you? Like, as far as being a bigger kid, like cutting weight, like, does that mentally screw with you, or like?
Well, it wasn't really that hard because I was so fat. I'd make like a couple changes in my diet, and I lost weight. Like, so it wasn't really that hard. Like, I would drop down pretty quickly to 215 for wrestling season, and bump back up after to about 235 for football.
Okay.
And then until my senior year when I lost all the weight. But so my first match, I go out there and I felt like I was walking to like an execution or something.
Yeah.
You know, I walk in there and the guy I go out there, he just clubs me on the back of the neck, throws me down, like, you know, basically like a collar tie.
Yeah.
But I mean, wrestling, I mean, it's a fight, dude. Like you're out there, like, I mean, like, you know, like wrestling is not the same environment. When I would wrestle, I would be listening, especially your young high schoolers. I would listen to like, you know, hard rock music. When I was going out there, I was trying to fuck someone up. And so clubbed me over the head, knocked me down, and then pinned me. And then, you know, but like Adam, you know, you keep competing, all of a sudden you kind of get the hang of it.
Right.
First jiu-jitsu competition wasn't bad. It was Nashville, 2003,
Damn.
Nashville. Me and my buddy went down there. I took second in the gi.
Nice.
And then I did terrible no-gi because my knee locked up on me because I had a torn meniscus that would catch in and out, caught on me, and then he beat me, and I was super pissed. So, I mean, it was fine, though. You know what I mean? Like, I was used to competing by then.
Yeah, like,
you know?
Adam, you did baseball growing up, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, was there any nerves doing that? I mean, were you really nervous?
Not really, because for me, you're out there, it's us, it's the team,
Sure.
you know, and like, we're all trying to do our little part to, you know, not to be like, you know, silly about it, but it's like, we're succeeding or we're failing, you
Absolutely.
know. I feel like I could, like, if I did bad, I could kind of hide behind the team a little bit, like, well, you know, we all should have done more. But when you're in jiu-jitsu, like, you know, granted, your team is there behind you and they're helping you get ready, but when you're on the mat, it's you. You know, you've got to.
Right. Well, you get all the glory, you know, if you win, and then you take the brunt of the fucking loss if you lose. Like, if you lose, it's all on Eugene, it's all on Adam. You know, it's like, you lost, not me. You know? And
the coaches you obviously you're real good about being there and talking us through it and like giving us like the coaching while the match is going on, but it's up to us to execute.
Sure.
And if you don't, you know, if I ignore your instructions or if I'm too slow to execute something or if I just get tired or whatever, that's on you, you know, and everyone's looking at you. So I feel like that was more nerve-wracking than anything else I've ever done.
Yeah, it was. I've never been like. I think in high school you've been in a few altercations. You Hadoukened some dude.
Did you fight dudes back in the day?
Adam Hadoukened a guy. Like, straight up, this dude was like, swear.
He what?
Hadouken!
You know,
like, fucking jumping uppercutted the fucking dude.
I had no business fighting this dude. He was
but you punked him out. You punked him out.
I got into a couple of squabbles with him, but
yeah, they kept fucking with each other, and then like it was in high school, and Adam like bent his glasses or something.
I didn't bend it. Like that's what pissed me off, man. This dude, like, somebody else bent this kid's glasses. It was mean. You know, as a wearer of glasses now, like, I could understand, like, holy, you don't do that. Like, these they're not cheap, you know. So some kid bent his glasses, and like I'm sitting there on the ground. Like sitting cross-legged doing homework or whatever, and like I kind of laughed, you know, because I saw what was going on. I was like, "Holy shit, dude! You just bent that dude's glasses." And then this big kid who got his glasses bent, he took his frustration out on me. Like, he came over and like got in my face because I was laughing. I'm like, "Dude, I'm not the one that bent it, you know. I mean, I'm sorry, but." So he ended up like, I can't remember like who did what first, but the exchange was. He kicked me in the stomach on the ground. I'm pretty sure though I punched him in the balls first because I was just ball level. It was not like it's a dick move, you know. It sounds like a bitch thing to do, but like I just threw like a straight punch and like clipped him in his left nut, and like he kicked me, or no, he that's what it was. He slammed my head against because I was leaning up against the bleachers, and he slammed my head back. And then I got up, and then one of my friends came over, and they tried to separate us or whatever. And I was like, fuck that, man. Like, that shouldn't have happened because I wasn't the guy that started this. I didn't bend this dude's glasses. So I waited for him in the parking lot, and I tried to, like, you know, get the jump on him. But he turned around, and, like, we kind of locked up, you know, in this, like, pseudo non-technical clinch. And he kind of threw me down. and I kind of like I landed on my hand and I posted, and as I was down like on a knee and on my hand, kind of like in a grounded position, I just like jumped and tried to uppercut this
Dude, he did. It was glorious.
And everyone's like, "Oh shit!" And then it looked as ridiculous as it sounds. And then like another.
Did he keep fighting afterwards?
Huh?
Did he keep fighting afterwards?
No, I think he punked him out. Adam punked him out.
So like
He stepped back and then like, holy shit, like this dude just.
So after the uppercut, he was like, "All right, I'm good."
He stepped back and then they split us up again, and then that was the end of that.
Yeah.
But the best fight we got into,
y'all got another fight?
Yeah, the same kid, man. We were at the bus depot, like all the buses would converge at J-Town High School, and I wasn't even being serious about this one. Like, I can't remember how we got into it, but like he was like, we were just fucking around again. He pissed me off, and I did this like George St. Pierre, like I was like standing here, and I was like, this is never gonna work. But I did this spin kick and brought my left leg back up and like snap kicked him right in the mouth. And all of a sudden, like everyone's like screaming, all these like kids start swimming around like, this dude's a ninja, and like, and then he gets this stunned look on his face, and all this blood starts pouring out of his nose, and like he like starts rape choking me. Like he gets me down, and like starts shaking me, and I'm like, I'm cracking up. I'm like, dude, I didn't think it was gonna work. And then he kind of stopped and started laughing, like, and I got his blood all over my shirt, and then that was the end of that fight. So,
oh, jeez, I never heard about that one.
And you guys were buddies afterwards?
Not really, but we were.
No.
I mean, we're just kind of like civil. Like it's one of those things. Like it's like after you have a hard roll with a dude in here, you're like, all right, man, we're cool, like. But I could not believe I connected that kick, and I was like, holy shit, it worked.
Did you ever practice it before?
Man, just like in my living room, like when I was a kid, like I'd watch ninja movies and like I'm gonna do that. But for me to be in, I guess I was a freshman in high school, and for that to actually happen, I was like I connected. If I just kept going, like I probably could have fucked him up. But no, dude, like I stopped. I was like, holy crap, it worked. Did
you ever get in any fights as a kid? You said you got jumped. I remember you saying that.
I got jumped.
But did that kind of motivate you to do jiu-jitsu or wrestling or that kind of stuff?
Not at first.
Not at first.
I got the
shit beat out of me.
Your fights were real fights, man. I had little like dorky white kid fights. But...
I mean, they were dorky white kid fights. I just had a lot of anger in me.
Yeah.
So, like after that, when I got jumped, I was in 7th grade and broke my nose, hit me with a bat.
Holy shit!
You're good at breaking your nose, man.
Yeah, the kid, like, so I was walking.
Y'all brought weapons.
And well, this wasn't even. So this was like these. So I was in 7th grade. I don't. What is that? What age does that make me?
Like 12, 13.
Too young to be getting with a bat.
So 12 or 13. So I'm walking home from the school bus, and this dude's walking up behind me. And then, like, all of a sudden I look back, and I kind of see some guy walking. I was like, I don't know what he wants. So I walk a little faster, look back, he's walking faster. And, now I know what that gut instinct is, but I didn't know what it was at the time. I get right, like, three like, houses down from my house, and I turn around, I look back at these 3 dudes, I'm like, what's up? And then one dude goes, punched me right in the mouth, like, hits me right in the nose, fucking blood's everywhere.
Just because? No reason? Like...
Yeah, dude, I think what it was is, so, like, it was, they were all, like, foster kids. So they were like kind of just like these kids have been chewed up through the system, and they were like some like little punk ass white kids, man, that just like wanted to like beat up someone. So I was the dude that walked past. They fucking went down there and got me.
Like you had a beef with them before? Or anything?
No, I don't know. I didn't know who they were. Luckily, my neighbor came out and like clotheslined them and get them off me.
Nice.
But cool. I mean, like I had a big I had a broken nose, and there was a big bump on my forearm because like when they tried to swing the bat down, it like hit me in the fucking face with it. Right, like I put my arm up like this, like almost like karate block style from fucking Taekwondo. Fucking hit the bone, dude, and it had a huge bruise bump on there. And they had like, remember they had to look at it at the emergency room that night. But after that, so there was a lot of anger there. So like, I got really that's why I got so fat. Like when I was a kid, like because I used to be real athletic. I'd ride my bike. I would just I didn't want to go outside. I was scared. Like I got jumped like 3 houses down. Jeez. So like I went from being this athletic kid that was out playing games and just riding bikes and doing all this running and all this shit to being this kid that was like still ate like that. But then I just stayed in the house because it was safe.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel comfortable like being outside until I was like a senior in high school. because I lacked so much confidence until I got to like wrestling, because wrestling I got confident from wrestling.
Right. Yeah.
And then so I got really fat, which only made it worse. And then I remember I got into a couple scraps like at that point, and it would be almost like water boy style. So like I would because I would be so unconfident to do anything, right? I would just like sit there and take it, and then one day, man, some shit would snap, and I'd fucking like go wild. And so like I had one kid, like I think it was in like 8th grade or 9th grade or something. Dude, I was holding this kid's face down, kneeing him in the face, just like because he kept fucking. He'd always fuck with me. So like I took him down to the ground. So like he put me in a headlock. I got out of the headlock somehow. Like it was like straight up like bully headlock, right? I stepped around somehow. He fell. And I started fucking like, you know, like the Johnny Seek and Destroy fight, right? Like where you just knee the guy in the gut. I was like that, but I was pinning his face down and just like fucking teed off on my toes. Boom, 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 need him. We go down to the principal's office, and this dude's fucking face is just beat the fuck up.
That's awesome.
And I'm sitting there like crying as I'm hitting him. Whoa, stop messing with me. And it was just like, so, but then like people wouldn't mess with you because like this fucking white boy's crazy. I went to a predominantly not white school, so they're like, white boy's crazy.
Man, I would have, like, I say this all the time. If I would have known jiu-jitsu when I was younger, I think I wouldn't have been as scared. Like, my brother got jumped when he was, like, 16. He just got, like, sucker punched in the neighborhood. And honestly, like, I remember walking. We would just go walking. Like, me and my brother and a couple of his buddies and a couple of my friends. We just go walking around the neighborhood.
Yeah, of course.
And every time a car would drive by, I'd get fucking scared.
Oh, yeah, you're like, well, they're going to jump out.
I would get fucking scared, dude. And I don't know why, like... I almost got jumped, but I actually talked my way out of it. I was like, dude, I don't want to fight you guys. There was like 3 of them. And I knew them. Like, I knew these kids. And they, like, tried to jump me, like, when I was walking home one day.
Well, see...
and it fucking freaked me out.
Well, I know the feeling, too, but the reason that, like, if you knew jiu-jitsu back then, simply your body posture, because you'd be confident about it, would change, which would then... Because, like, they've done psychology and stuff on it, like, where they're like, okay, like, when bullies look, like... If you take it down to a very animalistic level, some fucking predatory animals out in the fucking wild, right? They don't fucking go kill the biggest fucking water buffalo or the biggest thing. They're like, which one is the weak one? Which one's the easiest? Where do I get the easiest return for my physical investment, right? Because you'll see those fucking stampede of wildebeest, right? Which one gets taken? The little fucking back one that was too slow to get away. Yeah. So what they do is they look around, and subconsciously they do this. Like they'll look around, and the person that comes in with the slumped shoulders, their head down to the ground, they're not walking with their chest out, because again, if the person looks, they've done studies, and it's like when if you're confident, you make yourself upright, you become horizontally and vertically bigger, right? So they look for the people that just do this when they're slumped over, walking around like you're very tucked inward, they're very unconfident just by that posture, and they're like, oh, that's my bitch, and they'll pick on those people personally. So if you walked around like your big chest, then you're like the fucking stampeding wildebeest, and you're the big ones. Someone else that's walking with the chest out, they're the little ones. They're the ones that are going to get picked on. Yeah. So, like, that was me. Like, once I got, like, because I never got picked on. As soon as I got jumped by those dudes, then it was like, I'm like this, and then everybody's fucking with you because you're like, oh, he's a little bitch now, right? He's not confident. He's scared, that kind of thing.
Man, I think I don't know that. I'm like, you've got kids. Do you think you would want to try to put your kids in jiu-jitsu? Like, I mean, I know you got girls, but like...
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, there's no reason... I've told my wife this. There's no reason for me to know as much as I know, and then for my kids to go through life not learning anything, at least some sort of basic, self-defense, like escape. Now, I'm not going to push it on them. If they're coming to me and like, Dad, I really don't like this, that's fine. I'll never push anything on them, but I'll definitely expose them to it and bring them in a couple times and, just get some light rolling at the house, something, Well, they're going to get exposed to it.
I thought about that too, because if I had a kid, whether it be a boy or a girl, I would make it mandatory that they'd have to have at least 6 months to a year or something like that. Yeah. Like you gotta have it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's almost like, you make your kid go to school and they gotta learn fucking math. Why? Well, because you're supposed to, right? Like, you have to know how to defend yourself. Why? Because you fucking have to, because, again, you can, because your kid, that's one of the things that really bugs me sometimes when we have parents in here, like, the kid's training and they're doing well, and then, like, after that initial newness wears off, the kid's like, I want to play Xbox. Yeah. Right, and the parents are like, "Oh, he doesn't want to come in." I'm like, "Well, it's not his choice. It's not her choice.
You got to make it.
Like, you got to look at this and say, like, what are they getting out of this? Well, this is what they're getting. Do you want them to get those like physical abilities and skills and confidence come with? If you do, then you say, listen, you got to give me 6 months. You got to give me a year. After that, you can fucking stop." Right, but at least you have a base understanding of like what happens, how to defend yourself, when to escalate it to that physical level, and all that basic stuff.
Do you think that's enough? Like 6 months to a year?
I mean, it's enough for the basic kid to be able to defend himself. Absolutely. I mean, dude, like I've had kids come in like 3 weeks, and be able to like just like I had one kid, man, that was like went out there and he was like fuck, he went after his bullies. Right, like I was like shit, like he was like, because he'd been training for a little bit, and he was like, yeah, like I'm gonna go take care of business, and then he became like a fucking like the
enforcer.
Well, what was a vigilante, right? So like no shit, like because his mom would tell me. Basically, once he was able to stand up to his bullies, he would go into school and like, oh, you're picking on that little kid, and like fucking run across the playground and be like, boom, like be like, stop picking on him. He'd find all the bullies and be like the anti-bully. He was the bully of the bullies. You know what I mean? Like, because he was just like, he knew what it was like, and he was like, well, I can beat these guys up, and they can't do shit about it because I know jiu-jitsu. Like
he's not the hero that they wanted. He was the hero they needed.
Oh my!
I was waiting for a Batman joke to come in.
Oh my god! So
that is Batman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Just make sure.
Oh my god,
dude! Sometimes, man, like my lack of movie knowledge like just comes in. Sometimes, like, oh yeah, it's Batman. Like, no, dumbass.
TVs exist, Chewy.
I don't fucking own one.
Yes, you do. You don't own that one? All right, it's at the gym.
It's at the gym. It's at the gym.
I want to know about and we're switching subjects. The magic of since we're talking about movies or TV, the magic of movie making. Adam has come to fame as Adam, the Adam, I guess. I don't know. Like, how's that? How did you guys develop that? Like,
He did it.
Well, no, like just because you guys have kind of like there's some kind of there's interaction there. Like you said, you guys talked about videos and they're fucking hard because I've done some videos.
Sure.
And it's hard to kind of come off naturally in front of the camera and like just how did you all like?
And a lot of times that's take 5 or 6 that you're seeing on YouTube. Like that's not just like, oh, we just crap out a video and we're done. Like there's some work involved. There's a few tries. Sometimes it'll take Chewy like 4 or 5 times to get like
get rolling,
the intro rolling. We'll do the intro like 4 times.
Well, the intro is typically where you see all the banter.
Yeah,
because once I can get moving, then I'm fine. But like sometimes like you're just like, okay, where am I going with this? And here we go.
But yeah, I mean, like as far as like my contribution, if you want to call that,
yeah.
Like the first time we did it, I mean, God, I was probably a blue belt.
You were blue belt. It was the one. It was like where I was wearing a fucking like a wife beater.
Yeah, when we were being silly.
Yeah, we did one silly, but then we did one serious.
Yeah,
doing the same move, but I was still wearing that same ridiculous getup with that mustache.
Well, I put all my faith in him. I was like, all right, dude, this is your thing. I am a training dummy. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. And I mean, I'm not like an attention seeker. I was like, I'm just here to help.
Here's what I want to know, because after you might be getting to this, but like, so if you guys are listening to this and you watch the jiu-jitsu videos, if you go back and look, there's some videos where Adam's being fucking goofy in the background. Like there's one where he stares at the camera and doesn't blink, and there's like
that was an achievement.
Yeah, so there's shit that he's doing in the background that I never noticed, and even happens now. Like sometimes I'll do stuff. And, like, I'll go back and watch it, and I'll laugh my ass off because I'm being completely 100% serious, and Adam's in the background, like, fucking, like, making, like, facial emotions and, like, like, Spider-Maning himself up from the ceiling. Like, you're like... So when did you start doing that? That's what I would want to know. Because I don't know. I don't think I've ever asked you.
It was one of those things I was like, all right, like, I gotta, like, I mean, it was just... to remain like invested in it, I wanted to be like, I got to do something, and I wonder if people will pick up on it. I wanted to go back and look at the comments. Like, Adam's really kind of a weird dude, but yeah, man. Like, I mean, usually there's something. I mean, I don't do it as much now because I don't want to take away from the seriousness of what what you're putting out or anything. I don't want to be like, man, this is ridiculous. This little bald dude over here is just like. Making cross-eyed faces or whatever.
Not really little, man. You put on some LBs.
Oh, shut up, dude. Come on.
Hey, they said today you're putting some heavy pressure on people.
Yeah, everyone says, "Oh, dad bod."
If you guys want to like up the heavy pressure on your passing game, go have a baby and hit the buffet line.
Yeah, whatever.
Get them LBs.
Adam's got dad bod for days.
So you don't want to take away from the seriousness.
Yeah, I don't want to be too silly, but I mean, like, I try to, like, like, you'll say something, make a good point, and I'll make, like, like, yeah, that's very, 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 very intuitive or whatever, something. But I'll never forget the first time I did the Adam. At the end was, I think we'd done a couple videos. Okay. And, I just said, this is it. This is the flow of things. This is how it works. And then out of nowhere, Chewy, he completes his video and his little spiel at the end, and he goes, I'm done. And he looks over and he goes, Adam. And I had nothing. Like, and it's amazing how fast you will process information. I was like, I have to speak now. Shit.
Adam.
What do I do? And like in my mind, I'm like, do I really contribute here? I mean, at the time, I was like probably still a blue belt, maybe a purple belt. I'm not sure at this point in time. And I was like, what do I do? I can't go on a rant. They don't care what I think. And then all I got out was my name. I just said, Adam. Like,
that's how that happened.
That's how it started. And then
I guess I didn't really prepare you very well for it.
You just threw it on me, and I was like, and it was a good take, and I was like, I can't fuck this up, like we can't start over or do this. I didn't know what would happen if I said something weird, so that's all I got out. And then and then he kept doing it. He kept like coming to me at the end, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna come up with anything. So Adam, like that's all I would do.
What are the comments? Like, does he get any comments?
Yeah, like a lot of times, like we posted one the other day, and like someone put up, Adam. Like they'll post in the comments, Adam. Like,
which I think is good. That's a sign.
You started a trend. You should make an Adam T-shirt.
I thought about an Adam T-shirt.
Adam's head and say Adam.
Or an Adam rash guard.
A cartoon-like version of your head with an Adam.
Yeah.
Adam.
But I think it shows that people are watching the videos all the way to the end. They're not like, oh yeah, I could do that, and skipping through. Like, people are actually watching them, so it's really cool.
Do you feel like doing the videos? Do you feel like you pick anything up? Like, I mean, are you getting like? You feel like it's helped your jiu-jitsu out?
Yeah, definitely. Like the best thing we ever did was, and if you're listening to this, Chewy's got a grip fighting thing. It's out, right?
Yeah, it's still released. It's been released. It's up on the website.
Yeah, like we came in one day. Like I think I took off work one day.
Yeah.
Came in and we.
I bought breakfast.
He brought me breakfast, and we did this whole morning. We just did this whole grip fighting DVD series. I mean, and I told him when I was done, I was like, "This has been the best private lesson of my life." Like, because I mean, it's still stuff I use today. Like, I mean, the grip fighting is such an overlooked thing. I think a lot of times in jiu-jitsu, there's so many like techniques, and we talk about little nuances of pressure, but like. So many dudes, I still encounter this. They're like, "Man, Adam, like your grips,
Yeah,
like,
it's fucking stupid.
Like, and I understand the importance of that. And by the way, if you haven't looked at this series that Chewy put out, like, it's money, man. Because, I mean, like, I see the importance of grips just in my own attacks. Like, that is something that I focus on now more after training with him that one day and putting out that DVD series. Is grip fighting and keeping the grips off of me because I know how much it sucks. I know how much I'm pissing people off when I'm getting good grips. So to answer your question again, yes, absolutely. I mean, that's part of the reason. I mean, I enjoy hanging out with Chewy. We're buds, and that's the main reason why I do those videos. But I do get a good benefit out of it. Is kind of the I've seen there hasn't been a video that he's put out that I haven't seen because I was there for most of them when he put them out. So I've gotten a lot of private lessons out of it.
And I've actually talked to Chewy about it, and I told you about your freaking grips are insane. It's like the hardest thing for me. Like, you get your grips settled, and I can't break them off. And like when me and you roll, that's the one thing. Like, you set your grips up first. You go first, and you get your. So I'm pretty much fighting grips. So I think like. Grips are, you're right, man. They're so important because if you get grips, I mean, you're going to start being able to set up. And if you're doing gi, you're going to be able to start setting up your position.
Well,
and
no gi's no different. The grips change, but the grips are always
right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you control grips, you control everything. Because I mean, think about it, if we show a move, we almost always it's like, okay, grab this.
Right.
So if you can't grab those things, then you can't make the moves work properly. And that's the thing that people, it's obviously easy in theory, but it's hard in practice.
Absolutely.
But if you control the grips, even like we were doing wrestling the other day, it's like you're fighting for the inside tie. You control the inside tie, you control the movement. You don't control the inside tie, you don't control the movement. So everybody wants the techniques. They want to get to that point. They want to have like, oh man, I want to have this cool sweep. I want to do this. It's like, well, you have to control the position to get to that point. If you can't control the position, you can't get there. Period. Point blank.
Yeah. No, I mean, like when me and you, when Adam and I roll, and if I'm usually on bottom. And he's on top trying to pass. If you have those grips that you want, that's why I fight like hell to break them. If you have the grips, you're gonna pass. It doesn't matter what the fuck I do. Like if you have the grips, you're gonna hop over my legs and get side control. It's just I mean those grips are that's so important. Like I think it's definitely underlooked. I mean I think it's just. Do you think that?
And then you'll tell people too, like, and then they'll hear this and like, absolutely, they'll, and you and I and people at our level, we understand it. But you tell younger dudes, lower belts, like, grips are important. They'll sit there and they'll shake their heads and they'll say, yeah, I get it, And then what do they let you do? Let you get that collar grip, and they're not fighting the grip, the way you just told them. Like you're saying that you understand, but you're not appreciating just how important it is. And even me, when I'm trying to work some sort of takedown or anything, and I'm like, why couldn't I get that takedown or that pass or what happened? I look back and I'm like, you know what? He had the cross collar grip, and I didn't address it. Or he was gripping my knee, and I just I'll just barrel through, like grip.
Right.
And it's something that you really got to beat into your own head to really,
But it's not sexy.
It's not sexy.
It's not like because you go on you go online now, man.
It sounds simple too. Like, I'll deal with that.
I'll fight the grip, sure. It seems like such a simple thing. But like you see these people and they'll post up these wild 16 move combination sweep submission things that look really cool, right? They're very ooh, that looks neat, very pleasing, right? It doesn't necessarily work. It's almost like you're doing a fucking kata at that point, right? Right. But it's but then you say, here's how to break a grip, and they're like, oh, that's boring, I'm not going to watch that. But it's like, no, that's what you need, right? It's like people need entries before they need sweeps, not sweeps.
Right.
You can't get to a position. If you can't get to a position, you can't control the position. How can you sweep from there? It ain't happening.
And you see these flurries online, these 10 sequent things that they look so cool, and I'm thinking, you know what, that looks great, but if I get that pant grip in the beginning, you're not doing any of that shit.
Yeah.
So
stops right from the get-go.
Well, that's the thing, my go-to is the cross-collar grip.
Yeah.
If I'm bottom half and I have that cross-collar grip, I feel good. I feel secure. That's where I have a lot of my chokes from, a lot of my, that's what makes people nervous. And, grips are so important. I think, personally, I need to be better about breaking, fighting grips off of me, because sometimes I get the grips I want, but I don't fight the grips that other people need. Like I said, when Adam is passing or trying to pass, if he gets those fucking grips, I'm in trouble. But if he gives me the cross collar grip, I can kind of negate that. So it's kind of like, I give up my grips to take your grip out, and then
It sounds like you need to go watch that online streaming series.
What? Where can people find that?
They can go to my website, man. Jiu-Jitsu.net. How do they get that? It's streaming. It's not a DVD series.
Sorry, I spoke.
No, everybody says DVD. I actually had people because there's pictures.
I thought you were going to produce a thing that people were tangible.
Well, the reason that I did streaming was because now you can use it.
People want tangible things in their hand. Chewy.
How many DVD players do you have?
They're laying around somewhere.
I've got some.
Okay. How many do you have a DVD player that you can take with you and sit down with you on the mats?
Probably.
Point taken.
The thing is you can take your fucking phone, you can log in there, and then you can watch the video, and then you can say, okay, hey, let's practice this real quick. That's the whole point. It's not because, man, you get, again, the whole point with my website and stuff, I don't want to make something if I don't think anybody's using the shit, right? If I'm making if I'm selling a bunch of DVDs, and nobody's using the shit, then it's what's the point? I want them to be hey, I can take this and literally hey, coach, let's look at this together, or hey, partner, let's drill this together, let's look at this, and it's streaming, so no.
I'm trying to get Chewy to drink a beer, but he won't do it. What's your problem, Chewy? You're being a party pooper.
I haven't had any wheat for a while.
Wheat? Is there wheat in this?
Of course.
This is fat tire.
It's good. It's fucking beer. It's got got the glutens.
It's made from bits of
are you as far as
I'm gluten free right now.
Are you registered for Atlanta?
I'm gonna get registered this week.
Chewy tells everybody to register, but he doesn't register.
Well, no, because I know I can register like this and I'll get it done, but I've had several times where people fucking pussyfoot around and they don't get it done. It's
I'm in.
I'm in,
baby.
I'm gonna just do it.
Brownie Belch.
This might mean, I've been thinking about this, man. This might, I don't know how much I'm going to compete this year.
Why?
Because I've got so much, I've got a lot on my plate, and there's a lot of bigger picture things that I want to do.
Okay.
We do it because you did it.
Yeah. What's your problem, Chewy?
So, I think I'll probably do Atlanta. I'm going to do Master Worlds again.
Okay.
I don't know how many in between.
Is there a Chicago tournament?
Yeah, there's Chicago probably in April. I'm going to see. I'm definitely going to go to those tournaments and help people get ready for them. Whether or not I decide to compete at every single one, I don't know.
What's your reasoning behind it?
Because to compete,
people want to know.
What's that?
People want to know.
Well, because competing takes a lot out of you.
Right.
Like competing changes my mindset. It changes my ability to, if I'm competing, I have to be really focused on myself too, and then being focused on myself, and then you guys, right?
Right.
And then on top of training hard and watching my diet, then I've got all these other things where now I've got to let's look at the business too. The business has to continue on, and I've got to look at the things. And there's a lot of bigger picture things that I want to do with the business that I can't necessarily do unless I have some time to to give to that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like everyone gets like, you get a flame, right? Everyone, you get the flame started, you got to kind of stoke it, and you got to put some more energy on it, or some stuff on the fire to keep it going, get it bigger. And there's things that I want to do at the gym that I think are going to be really fucking cool, but I can't do those things if I'm like constantly in the trenches. You know what I mean? So I've got to find this balance where I am the guy in the trenches and the guy in the fucking because you have your general, your officers in the front line, guiding the troops tactically.
Yeah.
And then you have the person in the back end who's sitting in a fucking boardroom, like strategically looking at things in the way that they can be done. And so there's a lot of things that I want to do on that end that I don't necessarily do now. So I want to make sure that I'm finding a nice balance. So to try to find myself in this next few months after the Atlanta, I'm going to see how that looks.
I guess I'm being a little selfish, but like you've been. First of all, you're in your physical prime right now. You're healthy. You're
no. I'm not saying I'm not going to compete, but it's like, I know. But here's what happens if I compete like every fucking month, and I'm getting after it. Then like, dude, like literally the year passes by, and I'm the same person the next year, and I haven't pushed anything else to where it needs to go, and it's like, okay, like fuck, like you know what I mean? I'm still in the thing. I'm not saying I'm not going to compete. It's just like, do I need to compete every single month, or do I need to compete as much as possible? No, I don't. I'll compete where I want to compete because I enjoy competing. I'm not going to win the world championships. That's not what I'm doing. I'm competing because
you don't know that.
I'm not going to win the adult master world or the adult worlds. I'm not going to win the adult worlds. It's just not happening.
Why?
It's just not on the table for me, brother. It's like saying the bullshit story that people say, oh, you can do whatever you want to. It's not true. Right? There's certain things that you can. I can't go be an NBA basketball player. Okay, like I can't do it. Like it's just not on the table. It's like competing at the adult world or the adult world. It's just not on the table for me. There's other things that I could do. I could crack in and get into the master worlds. Right? Sure, absolutely. Like I was a match away from being from medaling last year. Right? So I can do that. That's fine. But like, there's certain things that I'm going to do, so it's like I'm going to focus on certain things and hit those when I need to hit them, but not going to every single tournament just because. Why? Because I need to compete. Why do I need to compete? I compete because I want to compete. I enjoy competing, so I'll hit it when I want to. Yeah. But I'm not going to go to every single one. Because again, then it's like, am I going after the things that I actually want to get after? You know what I mean? So it's like, you just have to be mindful of that.
I guess I'm being a little selfish because you've been on a fucking tear.
Sure.
You've been on a tear. I think I don't knock on wood, but I don't know the last time you lost a fucking match. You've won and you have not just won, you've handily, dominated your match. Does that have any kind of extra motivation to you, or does that just validate anything for you?
The thing is the one thing that changed last year is I actually trained a little bit smarter last year. I think that helped. I drilled a lot more. But again, man, I'm not competing because I don't give a fuck. If I never won a competition again, but I'm still trying. I don't care. So what? I compete because I want to compete. I want to test myself, right?
Yeah.
Why else is there to compete? Because I want the admiration of someone else. Because I want someone to be like, "Hey, Chewy won. Cool." You know what I mean? I compete because I want to test myself. The medals, I don't give a fuck about those stupid medals.
Yeah,
dude,
I agree. Yeah, it's
I
totally respect that. Yeah,
that fucking medal that I had from the pants, it sat in the fucking. It was covered in dust the other day. I gave it to Kay. I was like, "Can you put this on the wall?" I forgot about this fucking thing. I don't give a fuck about those medals.
I let my kids play with mine.
Yeah,
they do beauty contests with their dolls.
When I'm an old fucker getting ready to kick the bucket, I'm not going to remember. Oh man, hey, let me show you my medals over here. This one was in 2016. I'm going to be like, man, me and this fucking guy had a crazy match, and this thing happened, and me and the guys, we went and did this thing. It was crazy, man, and we had such a great time together. Even 2014 when it was my first tournament back after the surgery, went to Atlanta. Big group of us went, and I fucking got my ass kicked by Tim Spriggs. I just didn't have anything for him, Yeah. I was I remember at one point, I fucking had the lapel, came up from deep half, and I remember having his leg, and I was like, all right, now I'm taking him down. That fucking asshole jumps over my lapel grip, and I remember holding it for a moment, looking at him oh fuck! That was the moment in the movie where they fucking shoot the Terminator with a rocket launcher, and he just walks through it, and you're like, oh no, what do I do now? And at that point, it was I had 3 more minutes left, and I was just like, shit. So then he just I'm gonna just take my ass whooping, But the match was fun because of the whole thing with the team being down there, the training leading up to it. That's what I remember from it, and so that's why I compete. I compete because I like the whole process of it and the testing of yourself and being out there doing doing the damn thing. Win or lose, it's about getting out there and doing it to the thing. And most of all, it's about conquering myself. So when I step out there, I just let go and let everything happen. So it's like, for me, I've been doing that. And so I want to continue to do that, but on the frequency that I want to do, because I don't want, yes, I might be my physical prime. But jiu-jitsu doesn't have seasons. So I fucking go for the next year long and be like,
right.
just my fucking body's going to get used up. I mean, I can feel the effects of every time I compete and I go through that training session to get to that point. I can feel the difference in my body. My body's a little different every time. You know what I mean? And even like my shoulder, man, it's fucking been still messed up since October, just from tendonitis and just overuse.
Right.
It's like, so man, like I feel those effects, and so it's like I've got to be smart with it. So it's like, do I want to go every single tournament, or do I want to say, listen, I'm going to hit these strategically placed tournaments, being the guy back in the boardroom, so the guy in the trenches just shooting at everything that fronts up. It's like, no. I'm going to go into these directions. I'm going to hit these things, and then along the way, I'm going to build up some other things for you guys, because that's the point. It's not just for me in the business. It's like, well, I want to do some cool shit with you guys, but I can't do those if I'm just like constantly fucking taking bullets in the front line, right?
So what are, Adam, I'll start with you. What are your goals for this year? Like, I mean, it's kind of starting 2017. Like, what do you want to accomplish in jiu-jitsu, as far as like you're doing Atlanta? Mm-hmm. Is this your first IBJJF tournament?
ATL!
This will be my first IBJJF.
Yeah, it's gonna be my third, I believe. Like, what do you want to accomplish? Like, what do you see for yourself, like, in this year? Like, what will be success, or what will be,
I mean, it's like Chewy said. I mean,
he's trying to get them golds.
get them gains. No, I mean, it's the same thing, man. I mean, like, I just want to, it's about conquering yourself. It's about getting out there and I just want to, like, for me, I actually talked myself out of a lot of competitions in the past, because I would see dudes like Chewy and other guys in our gym. They would be like, you know what, I've got a tournament coming up, and they would be in here like, I'm doing 2-a-days right now. I'm like, 2-a-days, man. I'm lucky if I can do 2 a week right now. Like, and for me, I was like, well, that means I can't compete. Like, these guys are doing this to prepare for competitions. If I can't do that, I can't compete. And one of the things I did last year was like, you know what? I would like to compete. I would like to go out there and just experience this with, my buds, go out to these tournaments with them. So that's what I did. I went out and I just did it. Like, if I had a whole week or two leading up to a tournament that I couldn't even get in here, I'd still go to that tournament. So that, for me, that's what I'm trying to accomplish this year, is just, continue to compete where I can, train where I can, and keep getting better. I mean, I've got a few stripes on my brown belt now. I'm trying to polish things off, and in the next couple of years, I want to, hopefully compete at the black belt level. But every day it's the same goal. It's just to get a little bit better than I was the day before. Every month, the same thing. And wherever I can compete, I will. But I'm not going to let, family life or my job or everything else be a cop-out for not pursuing the things I want to do in jiu-jitsu.
So with coming, like, and Chewy, I think you did a video on, like, training a certain amount of time, like, sure. For you, Adam.
He was one of those guys I was talking about.
Yeah, and, like, so what do you do, like, if you can only come in 2 days a week, what do you focus on? Like, how do you try to get yourself better coming 2 days a week? Because for me personally, I got to come in, like, I have to come in, like, at least 3 times a week to keep consistent for my body.
It's exactly, everything he said, if you saw that video, is exactly what I've been thinking about for the last, 8.5 years. It's, whenever I'm in here, it is laser focused on, when I go home at the end of the night, I'm like, all right, man, like, this dude over here, like, just fucked me up doing something, or this pass didn't work, or like this guy mounted me, like, how the hell did that happen? So the next time I'm in the gym, I'm like, I'm working on that. I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to polish off the little, close the gap, so to speak. Like, every day I'm analyzing myself, like, I've got a gap here, got to close that, got a gap here, got to tighten that up. So when I'm in here, that's what I'm doing. I'm constantly thinking about, what do I need to get better at? And it's not about, I've got a game. Everyone knows my game, like, it's the A game. But I think a lot of things that go unappreciated are, if I get into these bad situations, there's a lot of holes that I've had over the years that I've closed up. And I don't get there a whole lot lately. But that's kind of how I approach my training sessions, is like, whatever he's teaching me, like, I'm doing that 110%. And I'll ask Chewy, I'll pick his brain, after class. And like, the other day, I was rolling with the dude, and we weren't even like actively like, the drill we were having wasn't. It was guy on top, just kind of maintain position, no real hard passing. Guy on bottom, you're trying to like sweep or whatever. And I think we got into a position, and I was like, man, I was in this cut through position, and I noticed the guy on the bottom. Obviously, I'm not actively hard passing, but he did this like leg kick out and took my back. You know, it showed me that was a possibility. So we kind of broke it down, and like he kind of showed me that I was really neglecting that bottom arm. You know, my opponent was able to post up on his elbow and kind of get some leverage and take my back. So that's the kind of stuff I look at. Like, what's the possibility here? Or if he's showing me a drill or a move, and I'm like, well, man, what if the guy does this? I'm constantly asking the questions and building upon whatever it is he's showing me.
What are you doing, like, outside the gym? If you're not, if you're not in the gym actively training, rolling, are you doing any kind of other work outside of the gym? Like, watching videos?
Yeah, I mean, I watch videos of dudes, but, I mean, for me, like, you know, I exercise as far as lift weights and things like that a lot less than I did when I was younger. Like now with work and two daughters at home and my wife, I mean, you gotta maintain all of that stuff. Family life, your professional career. You know, if any of that suffers, your jiu-jitsu is going to suffer. So when I'm dedicating a lot of my time to all that other stuff, I try to come back in here and I'm kind of losing my train of thought, but. I guess what I'm trying to say is whenever I get a free moment, it's usually dedicated to coming in here. If I'm like, I got some excess time this day, and Chewy's like, I'm doing an open mat, I come to that. But I don't do a lot of weight lifting as much as I used to anymore. If any free time comes around, I usually try to make it out here.
Chewy, what do you want to do like in 2017? What are your goals? Like, what do you want to, maybe jiu-jitsu, personal, professional, whatever you want to do? Like, I mean, you've got a lot more... popularity with your videos, and people kind of really look to you for advice and suggestions. Like, what do you think? Like, what do you want to do in this year? On the mats and
as far as like that goes, like on the mats, I want to obviously continue to improve. As far as like my own jiu-jitsu related stuff, I want to, obviously any of the competitions that I tend to focus on, I'm going to give them 100% and I'm going to go out there to win them, right? And just do my best. And then, along with that, what we have right now is we have a neat thing, like, we do those white belt classes, right? But we also have all these higher level belts. All these guys have been training for a long time. And so part of my bigger picture for this place is to do things for you guys at the higher level, just little different things where I can get you guys together and maybe, because some of you guys are at a point like where you obviously want to maybe start to teach a little bit, and so I want to make that possible, but at the same time I want to make sure that, as a guy that runs a business, I want to make sure that, you guys are going to teach in your style. You're going to, again, this is an art form, so you're going to be kind of your own interpretation, your own style of this stuff, and we just make sure that we have a few things that we are all on the same page about. But likewise, just get you guys together to do some different stuff to further develop your own knowledge of the stuff, but do so with like some different events and things like that I have planned. And then, as far as like the video stuff, I mean, that stuff's just fun. It's like, continue to do it, answer questions, and I want to try to get guys together to do some funny videos again soon. We still have to do the Billy Madison. We still got to do the white belt instructor one. We've got several.
We've been sitting on some good videos.
We've got some good ones, man. We just have to get everybody together. I think the Billy Madison would be a good one. Can't tell you guys about that till it comes out.
It's top secret.
It's super secret stuff. But I mean, man, I don't know. Like, I have big goals and stuff like that I set, and I write them down, and it's neat. I was talking to Ben Fowler about it the other day. I've had journals since I was 18. I don't know why. I just keep them. I still have them. And it's funny because I'll have goals, like big goals, like things I don't think will ever happen, and I'll write them down, and then they happen. You kind of like put them out there and you look at them and you stew them. You don't know how it's going to happen, but you look at them and you know that they're there, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's like, you look back, oh shit, I hit that goals. I looked at my actual goals that I've set from last year on New Year's Eve. I wrote my goals down in my journal, and I look at them this year, and like, I mean, almost every one of them has been completed. And I didn't think about them that much. It's just that's the subconscious at work. But so I have some goals. I mean, but as far as like the turn jiu-jitsu stuff, I mean, compete, win, get out there, improve. I've got a little drilling thing going on my website soon that'll be neat, and then just do the damn thing. I mean, just go forward.
How do you think like people at the upper belts, purple or brown or black, how do you suggest they still continue to improve? Like, what do you think? Like, and I kind of talked about this a little bit on on another podcast was just like, it's kind of hard to, when you're a higher belt and you have a bigger target on your back, almost like to put yourself in situations that you're not as good at.
Sure.
But the only way to get better at those is to kind of immerse yourself in that.
Because you put that target on yourself. That's your own perception. Like, I mean, that's all it is. It's like you can say, well, no, I have a target. No, you fucking have a target. But I mean, your whole association, your like grasp of I gotta win. I've got to beat this other guy because I am a purple belt. That's just bullshit you tell yourself. I lose all the time. I get caught in submission all the fucking time. Like, because I'll do weird shit and I'll get caught. Oh, motherfucker, you got me. You know, like, whatever. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I know that I can turn up my A game and go hardcore if I want to.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't get any better doing that shit. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, even like, you know, yesterday, Chad and I were rolling and we're playing leg locks. You know, Chad's a little bit better at leg locks than I am. Mm-hmm. You know, I got him in some attacks. I caught him in some heel hooks and he caught me in some shit too. Back and forth. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, with even some of the blue belts, man, shit, I was rolling with some of them the other day, and sometimes I just want to see what they do. You know, like, hey, I'll let you do something. And one of the guys caught me. You know, like, caught me in an armbar, and I couldn't get out of it. He caught me too quickly, and I was like, well, good job on your armbar, you got me. But it's not like it's a big deal. So the perception is that you have on you is that you have to win. There's times where you need to turn it up. And you got to fucking put your A game on, yes. But you will get so much more out of your rolls if you allow you to turn that bullshit off and allow yourself to just play and open up your game. There's no way for you to be experimental with your game, to really dive in and develop new weapons if you're constantly like chasing, I got to win, or I've got to beat this guy. Because one of the best things that you can do is you can put yourself in bad positions against good people. You can let people that you normally be able to just smash over, let them get some advantages and play some weak positions on you. Maybe they get the better of you, but who cares? Because again, it's not about beating that person. It's about you beating yourself, becoming just a little bit better over and over again, you know, that kind of thing. That's just, I mean, because I did the same thing. When I finally let go, because again, I talked about this all the time in my videos, when I was a purple belt, Kyle and Colin like sat down and like, look, dude, you got to let go. Like you're using the same shit. You've been here for like months and you're using the same shit over and over again. And it took a long time for that to really click. But eventually I was watching some kids roll, right? I don't know if I talked about this in the video or not, but I was watching, this is like kind of when I had that pivotal moment. Like I knew I had to let go and stop worrying about winning all the time. But what happened was I was teaching kids at this point. I was a brown belt because I'd let go a little bit, but I'd still roll hard sometimes, you know. But I was watching the kids roll, and there's this kid named Joseph. And Joseph, super cool kid, you know, nice kid, comes in. He's doing jiu-jitsu. And if you ever watch kids do jiu-jitsu, they're like laughing. Like kid gets him in an arm bar. They're like, you got me. And they get back up and they wrestle. And they're like putting pressure on each other. He's like, man, you feel heavy. But they're all smiling, right? Having a good time because they have no fucking bullshit that they've told themselves, I've got to be this guy. I've got to win. I got to win, right? And then one day Joseph comes in, he's rolling, and he gets caught in an armbar, and he's like, fucking snorting and everything else. What the fuck's going on? Like, you know, and so like his arms locked out. Joseph knows to tap, right? He knew to. He's been training with me for months. And I'm stopping him, and I pull Joseph over, and he's crying, and he's upset. I'm like, dude, what's wrong, man? He goes, Chewy. You know, and he's like, just talking. I was like, dude, why didn't you tap? He goes, well, because my grandpa told me that and he pointed over his grandpa, and he said, because he told me that if I don't submit, or if I don't tap, or if I do poorly at jiu-jitsu, do badly at jiu-jitsu, I don't get to play Xbox. Oh, and I was like, hold on a second. Come here, Grandpa. You know, so like, come here, motherfucker. Like, so that kid had no fucking concept of I'm supposed to win until Grandpa said you're supposed to win. So then when he said he's supposed to win, so now he has this idea I'm supposed to win. And so then he does it. His whole game changes. He went from like being very fluid, learning stuff to whatever. And at that moment, that kid, he ended up quitting because a couple months later, because he couldn't let it go. He couldn't let it go. So like he's wrestling with kids, and every time he wrestled with it, he went from being like playful and like, you know, going hard, but like just slapping hands, doing it again, to being like very like rigid and like, you like really gritting his teeth a lot. And he didn't have a lot of fun because a lot of the kids got better than him because they're just playing the game. Yeah. So it's like you got to play the game, man. Like playing the game doesn't mean you're going to win every time. You know what I mean? And so, but again, that was such a good example. I was like, oh, fuck, there it is. Like, I'm putting this, I don't have a parental influence telling me, hey, Chewy, you got to win, but I'm doing it to myself because I say, hey, I got to win. And so when you can let go of that, is your game will, because after that was like towards the middle of my brown belt, and that was when my game shot up because it was like, I just let go. I was like, fuck it. Who cares? You know, and then I started getting so much better. So again, like anybody listening to this stuff, if you're a higher level belt and you feel like you got a target, you got a target because someone's judging themselves based upon your performance. But again, if they beat you, big deal. Like if you can like turn your A game up, fine, turn your A game up if you want to. But if you want to get better sometimes, turn it off, do something else. You know? So if you get submitted, so what? Just press the reset button, slap hands, do it again.
that's something I experienced too. After I got my brown belt, when I was coming up as a blue belt, we have time to be good.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, my every day I would come in. My game plan was I would come in and I would put numbers on people. Top 5 best dudes in the class. I'm like, these are the people I want to train with.
I'm going to roll this guy first because I have the most energy, and this guy,
exactly.
and this guy's the last one because I'm going to be tired and I don't want to lose him. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they were always like upper belts, you know. Like if I was a blue belt, whatever, and I'm like, I wanted to get to a purple belt, so I was like, all right, where are the purple belts? Where's the brown belt?
Yeah.
Chewy's there. Chewy would always, and it wasn't like a. You know, like there was no animosity. It was like these are the guys that are going to put it on me, and they're going to make me better. So I've spent a lot of time getting my butt kicked over the years, but it really helped me come along and really kind of like shoot up as far as like among my peer group. You know, like I was always subjecting myself to the ass whoopings, but after I started getting promoted, and now that there are days I come in as a brown belt and I look around, I'm like,
You're that guy.
I'm the highest ranking belt in
here.
You're
the white rabbit.
Right. So what do I do? Like, you know, do I just not train? Do I cherry pick my opponents? Like for me, I had to get past this ego of being afraid to lose. I had to identify the purple belt, the blue belt, who could still fuck you up if you give them an inch. You know, like there's a lot of tough purple belts, and like I don't want to. You know, there's an ego part of me that doesn't want to lose.
Of course.
But I know, like, this guy, you know, he's got a great takedown, or he's good on top, and I need that. I need him to make me better. So I have to, like, get past that mental block and subject myself to the lower belt that can fuck me up a little bit to get better.
When you get submitted, though, like, how do you, like, I've had a hard time, like, I'll get down on myself sometimes, like, if I get, like, you know, caught in something. It kind of screws with me mentally. Of
course.
Like, how do you...
You have to consciously change the way you view it. You have to look at that and say... You know, that doesn't mean that I suck or everything I've been doing the last 9 years is pointless and it invalidates everything I've ever accomplished or done. It's like, okay, that is, I needed that. That has identified a gap in my game, something that I'm doing wrong, something I need to tweak and make tighter and make stronger. So, it's like, yeah, if you got a guy that, like, he's constantly, like, you know, passing the guard and taking your back, and you're getting your back taken all of a sudden, you need to keep training with that guy, even if he's a white belt. Keep training with him until you perfect that hole in your game.
Sure. Well, I mean, even like rolling with you, you know, I remember I've had distinct moments where like, one time we were passing, like, you know, Adam's one of those guys where he has some different ways he does it, but he has a really good setup for the double knee pass. Yeah. Double knee pass, run that fucking shoulder right into your chest, and he would get in the grips and he'd pass. And I was like, God dang it, like he's passing, you know? And again, and I still deal with it. It's not like I'm above it, right? Like, even like when I roll with like some guys, like they come in from other gyms and like I'll roll with them, like, you know, black belts, and like maybe I make a slip up and I'll feel that fucking feeling come up through my belt belly and up into my chest, and it's wanting to get up into my head and be like, you dumb fuck, why did you do, you know, get really angry and frustrated. And I was like, hold on, dude, like, chill out. So like the next time I'm like, okay, I got frustrated for a second. No, just next time I roll with Adam, I'm just going to be really focused on breaking those grips, you know. Or the next time I roll with this guy, I'm just going to be really focused on not doing this. You know, you have to look at it objectively. There's so much emotion put into it because of what it means to us. But again, like he's saying, you'll feel the feeling coming on. You'll get frustrated. You'll grit your teeth a little bit. You start to feel you know, like you get angry almost, and you just got to catch that. You got to be mentally cognizant of like what's going on in your own head. It's like, you know, I tell people all the time. You know, you'll have this person, like, when you're in those, like, struggling moments where, like, you're scrambling or you're pushing on a person and he's pushing back and there's this battle going on. And then typically it's like who gives up mentally first is the person that loses. Whereas someone's going, no, I'm going to fight this underhook. I'm going to push away from this person. I'm going to get out of this. Or the person that goes, fuck, and then they just lay back and let the person pass. You know, you have to be cognizant of where you are mentally, and that's kind of one of the cool things about jiu-jitsu, is because you become aware of your mental state more so than people that aren't there, because you're being tested all the time. You're being mentally tested. You know, it's like when sometimes I'll be out doing something and I'll want to like fucking all of a sudden I'll feel something getting like angry, because I do have a bit of a temper, you know, but it's like I'll catch myself, oh, like I'm getting that feeling. Oh, just put that back down there. I don't need that right now. You know, like that's not going to be helpful. You know, and I think that's part of the, you know, the trick. You know, and then also going back to what you were saying about the chasing other people. You know, it reminds me of the martial arts movies, right? Like, there's nothing bad about chasing the people that are higher than you, right? Like, you watch all those old like let's use Bloodsport. Yeah. You know, when he's chasing Bloodsport, what is he doing? He's trying to knock the shit out of his coach, his instructor, right? He's like punching at him in that little montage, you know, like he's trying to get him. He's not doing it because he hates him. He's doing it because I'm like, look, man, I'm getting better, right? Like when you're going with me, You're chasing me because you want to improve. And there's like, for me, it's like, yes, come, keep going. Like, like
me, little man.
Yeah, it's like, I'm the emperor. Yes. But again, there's nothing wrong with that, but again, it's just one of those things where you have to have the mindset of, look, there's a time to turn it on and there's a time to just play around and learn some shit. And if you want to learn some stuff, you have to be relaxed. Your body physically, like done studies in psychology, right? You do not learn. You can't make new connections as easily when you're in a stressed out state, right? You have to be in this sort of like perfect mindset, because what happens is, and this, when you get stressed out, you go to tunnel vision, your like menu becomes really small of what you can do. You'll have brain farts, like someone's giving you the arm and you can't take advantage of it. Whereas if you can be in a perfect state of mind where, typically in judo they'll say mushin no mushin or no shin, mind no mind. If you've seen The Last Samurai, too many mind, right? Basically you're cleared out of all that fucking bullshit and you're just moving with the moment. You're letting things happen, and it happens sometimes where you're just flowing on the mat, and it's because you're not thinking about anything else and it's just happening, and that's when your body can really make new connections, right? Because then it's like you're not stressed out. Your body shuts down when it gets stressed out, So if you're trying to make new weapons, if you're trying to develop new positions, you can't go into that role with, I gotta win, because then you're just not going to happen. You have to go in with that role with, look, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to see what happens, see what goes, and just see where things take me,
How much of jiu-jitsu do you think is mental? I mean, what if you had to say, 50-50 or
50-50.
Yeah, 50-50.
And people will say, like, 90% mental. Not really. I mean, like, you can have guys that, dude, I've seen guys that were, like, mental, like, puppies. Like, that kid, like, we had a guy that was an athletic specimen, that came in and trained. And he would do really well. But it was when he would go up against a person that could kind of hang in there with him physically, and then who would be willing to grit through some things, that he would fold. And that was where the mental took over. Maybe it's a different percentage. I don't know. But, a lot of it to me is there's a big mental aspect to it. But the physical plays into it. Because, if you have a guy with shit cardio that doesn't work out, doesn't eat right, he can have all the mental, like, fucking fortitude he wants, but he's probably not going to be able to hang in there. So I think it's like 50-50. Because I think sometimes your physicality, all that stuff gets you somewhere, and then beyond that, then you have to have that mental state to take you from there.
What kind of mindset do you guys try to get into before a tournament? Like, is there anything you think about, or is there anywhere you try to put yourself?
For me, it's, and I told this to him the last time we were going up to a tournament a few months ago. I was like, I've always felt like there were two different versions of me. Like, when I'm in here and like I just don't care, it's like, life is great, let's try to do this pass, and I'm having so much fun. But like, when I would go to these tournaments, I'll be like so fixated on, I don't want to do this right now because, he feels like, he can sweep me from there, and I have to think about points, and I drove all the way out here, so lately I've been trying to, like, I tried to do this the last tournament, I'm going to try to do it here in Atlanta, but I try to think, like, be me, like, roll like I do, go out there and display my game. And then if you lose on that note, it's like, okay, that's fine, but I don't want to go out there and be like the guy that like tried to eke out a victory and then got lost by an advantage, like I did last time, So that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is get into a mental state where I'm like, I'm not trying to be scared of this dude. This is going to make me better, and I just want to roll like myself. And whatever happens from that point on is, whatever happens.
What about you, Chewy?
Calm aggression. So being aggressive, going for what you want to go for, but not being, not losing control of who you are, right? Like, you're not, because again, I've talked about this story before. I went to a tournament in 2012, lost the tournament by advantage, did not play my game at all, right? Like, I actually was watching the match the other day. Like, I don't know who that was. It wasn't me, right? And the reason was because I was so nervous about losing, because we had like 30 dudes up there. And so we had a big group outside of town. I was so nervous about it. So the only thing that was focused on was like, man, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I go in there. I end up pulling full guard. What the fuck, right? I pulled full guard, and I played full guard. And I started getting some stuff going. He got an advantage for at one point getting to half guard, which I pulled at the same time. I was like, it's weird. But he got an advantage for getting to half guard, and I lost on that. It was the most bullshit. So I walked off the mat. I was so upset because, it was almost like, I never did what I was supposed to do. Yeah. So I was like, look, man, I don't care if I win. I don't care if I lose. That's where I go back to conquering myself, right? Because I know that if I let go, you know, so that was like one of my earlier matches as a black belt. My very first match, though, was a match where I was drinking a beer with Rich on his birthday. I get a text message from Dustin Ware. He's like, "Hey man, we've got a tournament going on tomorrow. One of the guys had to drop out. Could you make it up?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll be there." So I go up there, compete, was not in the best shape, whatever. I fucking did great, man. Like, I lost the match, but it was a fucking shootout. Me and the guy, like, shit, the score was like 12-14, and I was passing, so if I would have passed, I would have won. But it was a fucking fun match. Like, everybody was like, dude, that was so much fun to watch. I was like, and I was so satisfied with that match, but this match where I lost by an advantage, a smaller margin, right, typically, but it was like, I wasn't me. So I was like, after that, I was like, no, I don't give a fuck if I win. I don't give a shit if I lose. My goal is that when I walk off the mat, I will not feel like I did not do what I was supposed to do. I'll be me, right? I'm going to be myself. Obviously, you're going to be a little more aggressive, but I don't want to be outside of the control of who I am mentally. So all I do is I focus on my techniques, because I'm like, look, man, theoretically, if I go out there and do all my techniques, I hit them and execute them just like I'm supposed to, then I win. So that's my best chance. My best chance is just to go out there and just let it all hang out and go after the person. Whereas if I go out there and I play to not lose and just I play scared and play like a little bitch, then I fucking lose. Right, and I feel like shit. Even if I win that way, I won a match as a brown belt one time where I won on an advantage for almost taking the person out of bounds. And I remember like wanting to just do some stuff and like pull the trigger on things, but I didn't go for it because I was scared. You know, I was like, I just want to win so bad. I just want to win because it makes me feel good, right? Like, and then because of that, I fucking won on an advantage. I felt so disgusted with myself after when I was like, God damn it, who was that? Like, I'm a bitch. Like, I'm a fucking bitch because I know I walked off the mat and I didn't win. I won by the point scheme, but I never beat myself. I missed the whole fucking point, right? Like, that's the whole point. It's like, because if you can like sort of take who you are inside here and bring that person out there, then that's amazing, and you'll win more matches that way. You know, so that my thing is being in control of my mind, but being more aggressive and just going after those techniques.
Yeah, I feel like I can't. Sometimes, like if I want to make sure I prepare the best that I can, because I feel like if I just go in there kind of like whatever happens, I feel like I give myself an out. Yeah. I've said this before. Like I can't. That mentally tells me it's okay to quit, and I can't. Like I have to go into a match and know that I'm going to do everything I can in my power, but know that it's not okay for me to quit.
Well, of course. Well, I mean, like, I'm not, by no means am I saying, I'm just going to go see what happens. Like, you know, I hope that that's not the way it sounds. It's like, look, man, like, the best chance that I have to win this fucking thing is just to, like, fucking let go, you know? Like, to get out of my own goddamn way and just hit the cess off, you know? It's people get in their own way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they like, because they have the tools. Like, I've seen this happen so many times where someone goes to a tournament and they compete against some guy, then they lose, right? Right. And then the guy comes to the gym and trains, and they fucking annihilate them, and they're like, you know, they annihilate them. And
Are you looking at me? Just look at me.
Well, I just realized I wasn't even thinking about you, but obviously you understand that experience.
I do.
But you know, but that's the thing. It's like you get out of your own fucking way and just do it, right? Yeah. Like it's like because if you think about it too much, it's like you're just going to make it worse. Whereas if you just say, you know, fuck it, look, man, like this tournament, this is about me. This is not about this other person. This is not about the people watching. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, man, if you lose a tournament, you know what changes? Fucking nothing. Your wife still loves you. Your kids still going to love you. We're still going to be your friends. I'm still going to be proud of you. So at that point, it's like, look, man, just do it. Throw your techniques at the person like just fucking a barrage. Just throw them out there, and then let's see what happens and let the dice roll, you know?
Yeah, I think I agree with that. No, like I'm not saying that I just have to like know that I'm going in there to do my thing, and as long as like I feel like that's what's helped me be more confident in. I just go play my game, and if I play my game, whether win or lose, I've played my game. I've tried to implement what I am good at or what I feel like is going to give me the best chance to win. But yeah, not to like just be scared. And that's like, I think that comes with more experience. The more that I've competed, the more I've felt like myself on the mats. Sure. Because initially I was just like, I would watch people, even white belts, and I'd be like, oh my God, they're just moving like they do in the gym. Yeah. I was like, that's so impressive. I was like, I can't do that. I can't move like that. You know, I don't know why. You know, I can. I just don't.
But you tell yourself something.
Yeah.
You make a narrative about yourself. You know, like you tell yourself stories in your head, and this is what you come to believe. My name is Eugene, and I don't move like that when I go to competitions. Yeah. That's your story. You have to change it.
Yeah, I think the more I've competed, and like I said, I competed more as a purple belt than I think at any other belt, which is crazy to me. Like I never, you know, and I have like a bigger family and a lot more responsibility, and I think I've competed more. I mean, I just don't know. I think jiu-jitsu is kind of I think it's gotten more important to me as I've gotten older. Like it's gotten more of a part of who I am in some way. I don't know. And being healthy, you know, being able to consistently train gives you more confidence too.
Sure.
Like, I mean, I feel like I said, I was more healthy this past year. I think I didn't really have a lot of injuries. Adam, have you done anything as far as like dealing with injuries? We can kind of end on this, like as far as dealing with injuries and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been being smarter about it, I guess. In the past, I would always, you know, you're hurt, whatever, tape it up and get back in there. And it's really just adapting my training to, you know, I deal with stuff all the time. I try not to complain about it too much, but for me, like one of the things that I noticed a few months ago was I was dealing with kind of a knee injury, and it would hurt every time I would kind of post down on it, or if I was like sitting back on my knees, or anytime I was in someone's guard and I was like, you know, sitting back on my feet. It was a sharp pain I was dealing with in my knee, and I noticed that if I kept my knee up in kind of a combat base, I could alleviate a lot of that pain. And it really kind of morphed my training a little bit, because I was very comfortable with, you know, after a hard passing session, you know, and if this guy's trying to sweep me or whatever, if I would just go back into the guy's guard, I felt like, okay, we're neutral, we're safe, which anybody who's, you know, trained long enough will tell you that's not necessarily the case. I mean, you can have a guy with a dangerous guard, and you could be in a lot of trouble when you're there. So, and I would have a lot of trouble getting out of the guy's guard, breaking, and it's just, I realized it's a lot more work than I initially gave it credit for. So, for me, dealing with the injuries and kind of, you know, staying up in a combat position to alleviate pain, it kind of helped me stay out of guys' guards and stay in a more dominant position. So that's something that I've noticed, and it's about, you know, taking time off where it's needed, adapting your training coming in. Maybe I'm just drilling today, but it's definitely, as I'm getting older, I have to dedicate more time to addressing the issues that I'm having so I can get back to 100% training sooner versus suffering for something for 6 weeks and only training at 50%.
Yeah, Chewy, you've done a lot of that though. Like you don't go hard every day. Like you don't. Yeah, you used to though. Oh, and now, like I think you, you know, you kind of like you train hard. Like I mean, because you're doing 2-a-days pretty much every day. I mean,
it really depends. Like some days, like I go a lot of times off of feel of the body. You know, like how I feel. Like I felt good today. Felt good yesterday. Thursday, I didn't feel so good. I was like, I'm you know, really sluggish. Luckily, you know, we ended up closing up. Wednesday, I felt pretty good. Tuesday, I was a little tired. I didn't really go too hard Tuesday. Monday, I felt okay. You know, and so it's really just kind of go by what you feel. But I typically don't do more than like 3 days of really hard training. And if I do like a hard like leg day or heavy lifting day, I don't really train jiu-jitsu on that day. You know, I do a lot of yoga, stretching, corrective exercising, foam rolling. Right. I mean, the whole thing. And so I do a lot of this. I dedicate, you know, at least no less than maybe 3 hours a week. You know,
stretching is key as you get older.
Well,
stretching at home while you're watching TV. I mean, I'm constantly doing stuff while my family's on the couch. I'm on the floor doing things that you've shown me, Eugene, and Chewy showed me some stuff. I mean, just to keep, you know, my hips mobile and flexible and dealing with various pains and bruises and bumps that I've you know, sustained over the years.
You don't get over them as quickly.
You don't.
You know, something I've noticed is like, whatever, like when I cut like, and you know, I don't want to be like the hippie guy out of here, but whenever I cut like breads, grains, and all that bullshit out of my diet, my joints feel better.
Really?
Yeah. I want to say that it's just a placebo, but like it's not. Like it literally will be like after I get about 2 weeks in, like, you know, when I sit back on my heels.
Yeah.
I can't do that very well when I'm eating a bunch of grains.
Really?
I swear to God. Like, I don't know why that is. It's like when I eat a bunch of fucking breads and grains and stuff like that, my joints feel a little bit achier, like stuff like that. But then if I'm eating like my carbohydrate sources, like sweet potatoes, you know, and fruits and things like that, like no problem. I can sit back on my heels. My legs feel very itty. Like my joints don't feel as clunky. You know, like I feel very good. You know, it's like
some inflammation maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like it's one of the small things I've kind of recently been like, huh. You know, because I did it for the first time last year. I went completely gluten-free for like about 2 months. Mm-hmm. Not a lick of it. You know, it was actually the last day was when we had breakfast for my birthday, right? Yeah. And then I didn't have it until up in like late May. Huh. I didn't have anything. And I felt great. You know, liked it. You know, Aside from I think it would have a little bit with sushi, because sushi is one of my cheat meals, and so you have a little bit with like the rice and stuff in there,
right?
But no breads, no nothing like that, no cakes, no sweets, nothing like that shit. No real sugar added.
All the good stuff.
Yeah, but it's like, man, you feel great.
Yeah,
it feels so fucking good.
You don't feel sluggish for sure. I think diet's huge. Diet's really important.
That's one thing I think people neglect so much. Jiu-Jitsu is one of those weird sports where, like, you know, you can be very technical and you can get away with a lot. And so some of these young kids out there, and I get it because I know I used to, when I first started training Jiu-Jitsu, I used to fucking eat Hardee's. Like, eat a big old Hardee's burger, eat a big old Hardee's burger, and then go fucking train Jiu-Jitsu. For you guys on the West Coast, it's Carl's Jr. But, like, so I'd eat that shit and then go train, feel fine. And then now, man, it's like, you
feel sluggish.
Yeah, well, you know, and the thing is,
slow.
You don't know, like, maybe I always felt sluggish, but I didn't know because it's what I was used to. You know, but now as I've gotten progressively, like, more clean with my diet and more precise with the way I do things, it's like, you know, like when I don't do those things, I notice a big difference.
Yeah. So
I wonder if it was just maybe because I didn't know what it felt like to feel that good.
Well, I think you can compensate when you're younger.
Yeah. Well, those young guys, it's like, oh no, man, you know, like my diet's not important. Like, you know, you'll see these guys like, I just eat like all this junk food and cheeseburgers and stuff. Like, yeah, man, you're like 23, 24.
Like Gary Tonin.
Yeah. Like, wait till you're like 30, 32. Like right. You'll be a little different, man. You'll be like, oh man, I don't want to eat the cheeseburger before jiu-jitsu. Oh,
I can't eat like 2-3 hours before I train, or I can start getting heartburn and shit starts coming up.
That's because you're like a bird.
Man, I eat. Man, I can throw some food down.
He cannot. He's a fucking liar.
Is he serious?
I've seen this man eat. It's pathetic.
It's my God.
Like, even Mish and I were laughing about it. Like, when I was getting a massage one time, she's like, I'm trying to get Eugene to eat more. He'll eat like one meal a day and just keep going.
I'll eat, man. I'm throwing it down.
Yeah,
I'll eat.
Fucking bird seed.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Oh my God. This one, like, I have to cut weight for Atlanta. I have to cut weight.
Like, hey, Eugene, what have you eaten? Well, this morning I had a handful of almonds, and then I
throwing almonds right your
eyeball. I had like a piece.
Seeds?
I had a piece of chicken breast with a shred of lettuce. And, so full. I can really throw down some food. Look at me.
I can. I eat, man.
Yeah, let's test that theory out sometime.
All right.
After Atlanta, we'll
all right. Competition. All right.
Let's do it.
Hot dogs. You're gonna lose. No, we're not eating fucking hot dogs.
No, let's eat hot dogs. Let's go, man.
No, we'll
pizza.
Let's do pizza. You know, we did that one time after training.
Let's eat gluten free.
Years ago, we had some of the guys that were doing MMA. We went to Mr. Gaddy's, like the pizza buffet, and we had we had an eating challenge, and we measured it by taking the pieces of crusts and making a line with them.
My God.
I ate somewhere close. I think it was like 30 pieces of pizza or something.
Oh, my God.
Like, dude, my stomach was hurting. I was like,
oh, my God. That sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. No, like, I have to really watch what I eat, really. I mean, I tried to implement more, more water. Definitely more water. I do try to eat, though. Don't worry, Chewy. But some of us can take down a little more food than others, I guess. Quit flexing on me.
That's right, man.
He's fucking flexing. All right, Adam, thanks for hanging out, man.
Thanks for having me.
Adam is my buddy from middle school, by the way, and we've been getting into trouble since like we were 12, 13 years old. So now we continue to get in trouble. I think jiu-jitsu's for me, man. It's one of the great ways to see my buddies that I don't get to see on a regular basis. We have families and stuff, and get busy, and like these are some of my best fucking friends. People I really talk to all the time. So, Chewy, got anything? You Zen master over there? You Zen'd out?
No, I was thinking. No, I don't think I have anything.
See, I didn't have that luxury the first time he went to me in one of our videos. I just come up with something.
Oh yeah, we didn't put you. We gave you a little time. You can think about what you want.
I can bullshit about whatever, man. Like I can bullshit on
it's
all
true,
that
you
stuff.
can.
I mean, dude, I can just bullshit and fucking talk forever.
My favorite video we ever did was the one where I pretended to choke a dude out.
Yeah, that was pretty popular.
Oh, that was good.
And then
and I just had to bullshit.
It was good. Timing was perfect.
I takes. I think it was. Oh, it took.
Yeah, it took the first take. We just changed a couple things, and the second take was so much better. I still, to this day, have never watched that and been able to focus on what I said. I've tried.
There's some good information in there. Like you should really listen to.
Well, it's like what we talked to about today, right? It's like about I remember the theme because it's one of those things where you want to train with the lower people, get something out of it. I remember that, but I was just rambling rambling on about shit, and I have no clue what the fuck I said.
It was perfectly timed. I mean, could you see us? Like, did you have the lens flipped? Is that how you were able to time it?
No.
I mean,
it was perfect.
It was perfect.
No, because like
he completed it right as I was.
What's the video called, by the way? So if anybody wants to check it out,
I probably need to rename it because it's got like a really like clickbait sort of tag that people probably won't search.
Jiu-Jitsu,
but it's like
is choked out.
No, it's like rolling with lower belts or something. Something like that, man. And
the timing on it was impeccable. I can't get over it. I was like,
that was my favorite.
Perfect.
Well, I mean, and Adam does a good job. Adam's very expressive. Like if you look up in the background, like he's like making quietly making expressions and
grabbing his head.
It was ridiculous. I went back and I remember showing it to Jessica, my girlfriend. Is kind of like my litmus test for stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I'll show her if like I have multiple takes of a video. I'll be like, which one do you like better? Or I'll watch her because like Jessica, she doesn't even do it like knowingly. Like last night we were watching one of my talking videos, and she like. One of them, she was like watching it the whole time, and the second one, she was like kind of like laying over, looking at her phone on accident. She just couldn't help it, I'm like, First one's the best one, But like with that one, I showed it to her in that take that we did. Oh, she started laughing hysterically. I'm like, all right, sold. Let me cut this thing up and get it ready.
That's good. That's great. Is there any videos that are your favorites that you've done? Just to end on. That one was like funny wise. Do you feel like there's any technique videos that you feel like really? You've gotten most bang for your buck that really help people, or
see, it depends on what you think because like the funny ones, those are actually a lot of fun. I enjoy those,
right?
Like because it's literally like sometimes a lot of times it's just us like when we did the wrestling one where like me and Brian were just running around like let's get a ladder and we'll do this and we were just like spontaneously throwing stuff together. That was just like really off the cuff. Like we just sort of threw that together like within like 30 minutes. So those are fun, you know what I mean? And like even like the one where we did with like Robert, like when we did like the white belt guy that was crushing an apple, that was ridiculous, So those are fun. Those are actually a lot of fun because you get to get everybody in on them.
Those are fun when people get pissed off about them too.
Oh, those are just because people are stupid,
People comment like, "Oh, he's a purple belt. What is he doing picking on white belts?"
Yeah, it's a joke, man. It's called satire, asshole. But. As far as like the videos, what?
Don't hold anything back there, Chewy.
What? I mean, like, what am I supposed to like? We
damn you, internet!
We hate you, internet.
The internet's it can be one of the coolest places, and it can also be one of the most hateful places. Like, it's just so funny how I had to ban some. I just took his comments off my webpage or my YouTube because I was like, dude, shut up. Like he was calling me a snaggletooth faggot. I was like,
why
Jesus.
do people even do that? Like I didn't get it.
I feel bad for him because I'm sure his life sucks. It's like if you're sitting around on YouTube making fun of people, you got a shitty life, man. You know what I mean? And I'm like, and I kind of want to ask people, like, look, man, like. I got this fucking thing got shipped when I was younger, and I kept getting it like taken. I would get it replaced, and it would just get hit and knocked out. I'm like, okay, like I'll get it replaced when I get done fighting MMA.
His tooth.
Yeah, my tooth. And then I'll get it replaced when I get done fighting MMA. I'm done fighting MMA, but I'm like, I don't know why.
It's like your calling card.
Well, for me, it's like, okay, like does the information that I give you, is it any less valid because I have a chip in my tooth? Like my teeth are straight, like they're all straight. It's just, I've got a fucking chip in them. It's like. Well, I don't know. I just don't care that much.
It's normal. It's how we see it.
I guess if I was like some guy like a fucking like corporate law office, like where they're being judged for like everything that they wear and stuff, then maybe I'd get it replaced. But I fucking do this shit for a living. I don't give a goddamn.
Right.
Like fuck that shit.
As soon as you get
and you live in Kentucky, so that's you fit the bill, right?
But first favorite videos, no, I don't have one because what's funny is like the videos that I think I did the best. Sometimes whether it be like one of the talking or the technique videos. Like nothing, and then the ones that I think didn't go well are like the ones that everybody fucking loves. Like I'm like, what? This is the one. So sometimes I don't know because it's like my mind's wired differently than other people's. So sometimes there's different things. But I mean, all the information that's on the website's good. It's all good stuff.
It's great, yeah.
It's stuff that I use.
Well, it's stuff I think anybody uses, and it's like I said, I watch. I try to at least watch each video to get because I get something out of each one. I get some nugget of information out of each one, or some tweak to a technique, or something like one of my favorite videos was like you talking about. For me, like your jiu-jitsu kind of being, a finite, like your body's a finite resource, and that's one of the things that I've talked about numerous times because being a physical therapist, like your body has like a a span. Like there's a tread life, you know, and if you don't take care of it and do the work, you're gonna wear that tread out sooner rather than later, and you can't go hard. And there's gonna be always somebody younger and stronger and faster, and so that's where technique and that's where maintenance and doing the things outside of the gym, you know.
Since where you have to, as you get older, you have to accept change.
Yeah, I've had injuries, and Adam's had injuries, and you have, and like we're fucking still here.
The old you has to die. Right, like you know. I mean, seriously, it's like you know, I've been doing all that reading on like fucking mythology and storytelling, right? And so the thing that you see across the board in like cult religions and mythology is there's a death and rebirth, right? And if you think about the way that like people use those religion stories, you can take them as fact if you want to, but typically it's more of like a distillation of like life lessons, right? Like, look, this is metaphors for things, and if you use that metaphor, like, you know, the phoenix rising again, or Jesus dying and then coming back again, right? And what it's saying to you is at different points in your life, who you are now, that person has to die. And you have to change. Like when your son was born, you're not the same person. When your daughter was born, you're not the same person anymore. Like the way that you think and are like has to be different because you can't be like you used to be. When you became like in a marriage, you can't be a single dude anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when your body starts failing on you and it's no longer able to keep up the pace with what it used to be, you can't just say, fuck it. Like, I'm going to go like I did when I was 20. If you're smart, you got to be like, no, you have to recognize it and be like, okay, no, I'm 30 now. My body doesn't respond the same way. I have to be smart about this. So it's not that you ever have, like, I did that video and people were like, oh, I'm going to do it till I die. I didn't say you couldn't do it till you die. Yeah. All I said was that things will change and you have to be ready for that.
To modify.
You have to modify. Like, you know, you're not going to be able to train like you're 18 every day. Like,
sure.
You know, because again, I thought I could too when I was younger. But fuck that, I'm gonna fucking train forever. You know, like hardcore.
You don't know me.
Yeah, and then you're like 30 years old and you're like, now those fucking assholes are talking about.
You're gonna die. I won't.
It hurts. It hurts. Jiu-Jitsu hurts sometimes.
Sometimes.
Hurts my bones.
Everybody hurts.
Is that a song? Isn't that a song?
So. That's it. Yeah.
Chewy, Jiu-Jitsu.net for videos, grip fighting they can get on Jiu-Jitsu.net.
Check out that grip fighting.
Grip fighting.
You'll thank us.
You'll thank Adam. All right, guys. Thank you all for the time. I appreciate it. We did like an hour and 15 minutes. That's absurd. Did you fart? 5 points. 10 points. 15 points. Oh, God, I shit himself. Oh, dude, that is going to be on. That's ending.
Did you shit?
Dude,
did you poop your pants?
No, the door's closed. Open it up.
Don't worry, he's got a tiny little candle here making some...
If I'd been smoking a cigarette, I might have been killed.
Dude, wait till you hear it on the thing, because it picked it up. It's like...
Hey, it's going to be on the podcast. That's ending.
That's fine, man.
I'm going to, like...
You got your intro right there.
And my intro.
The Jiu-Jitsu Therapist podcast.
Is Jiu-Jitsu Therapist, Chewy. Get it right. Learn how to read. Trebek. Damn it, Trebek. Turd. You guys are turds, man. Thank you again to Adam Wilson and Nick Chewy Albin for joining me on the podcast. It was a blast, man. I appreciate your all's time, and thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you for listening. Thank you for any feedback that you may have, any questions or anything, jiu-jitsutherapist.com. Check out the YouTube channel, Instagram, The Jiu-Jitsu Therapist, and thank you guys again. You guys are awesome. We'll see you next time with Kurt Osiander on the podcast. Thanks.